Drives one in the air to right field. That ball is gone. It's a homer. This is what you came here for. You got the Cubs game on the score.
Chicago Cubs baseball is presented to you in part by Benny's Beverage Depot, Nissan, Benjamin Moore, Hefty Trash Bags, Arturo Tire, James Hardy Building Products, Sea Glass Wine, Volvo, Sloan, Xfinity, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And now here's the Hall of Famer, Pat Hughes, and All-Star Ron Kumar with all the exciting play-by-play action of Chicago Cubs baseball.
It's a first-place showdown between the Cubs and Mets. Once upon a time, one of the most heated rivalries in all of baseball. Hi, everyone. A pleasant good evening to you from Citi Field in New York. Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat. It's the opener of a three-game set between the Cubs, the leaders of the National League Central, and the Mets, who are on top of the National League East. Two veteran right-handers on the mound. Jameson Taillon for the Cubs, Clay Holmes for the Mets. The starting lineups and first pitch next on The Score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Start your mornings with Cubs Talk. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
Geico gives you more coverage for whatever you need, from a dead battery to a flat tire to a fender bender. And you get 24/7 help and fast claims with the Geico app. It's a total car coverage combo, kind of like the combination of EDM, death metal, and smooth jazz. I think this could catch on. Whatever you need, get more with Geico.
Air, performing their seminal album, Moon Safari, in its entirety, plus classics from their entire catalog, live across North America in 2025. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
It's game time. Time to crack open a Yingling after 196 years. The wait is over. Yingling is finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar store. Yingling, the oldest brewery in America. And Zach, you just said it in the open. This at one time was one of the great rivalries in baseball. And now you got two first-place teams playing right now. And this series could get heated up, too, just because both teams are really trying to make that big push towards October baseball.
Should be a fun weekend in New York. The starting lineup sponsored by Verizon, the most reliable 5G in Chicago. Ian Happ will lead things off for the Cubs. He's in left field. Happ at the plate, switch hitter batting for the left side against the veteran right-hander Clay Holmes. And the 32-year-old kicks and delivers. And the first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. We are underway in Queens, the opener of a three-game set between the Cubs and Mets. Kyle Tucker will follow Happ in the lineup. He's in right field today. Seiya Suzuki, the designated hitter, as Happ looks at a ball high and outside. 1-1 the count. Michael Bush, the cleanup man, playing first. Carson Kelly in the number 5 spot and catching. Pete Crow Armstrong in center field, hitting sixth. The next pitch to Happ is low for a ball. 2-1. In the number 7 spot, it's Nico Horner, who plays second. The shortstop, Dansby Swanson, hits 8th for the Cubs. And the third baseman, Nicky Lopez, is the number 9 hitter. Holmes kicks and fires. Happ fouls it away out of play off to the left. Holmes a record of 4-1. Coom with a 2.95 ERA in 7 starts this season. He was primarily a reliever for most of his career.
Yeah.
And the Mets signed him in the offseason to be a starter. Here comes the 2-2. Happ swings and misses. Strike 3. 1 away.
Well, and that's the pitch that is, transformed him and allowed him to pitch deeper into games and be, that starter type. His velocity is down because he's pitching more. So you expect that, a little tick down in velocity going from the pen to the starter. But the good two-seam fastball, he has not given up a home run yet this year in 7 starts, mainly because of the good movement he's got on the ball going down. But he's added a split to the left-handers, and we'll probably get a look at that here against Tuck.
Kyle Tucker looks at a ball outside. 1-0 the count. Tucker on the year hitting at .284 with 9 home runs and 31 RBIs. The pitch is low and outside. Ball 2. The Cubs leadoff man was presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Ian Happ had gotten a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot would have donated $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. The next pitch is tap foul at the plate by Tucker. The count 2-1.
Well, for Holmes already, the pitch to Ian, if you look at the location of where the ball ends up when it gets to the strike zone, you're like, how do you miss? How do you miss that? And then if you actually look at the pitch itself, great movement on that two-seam fastball to Ian Happ for the strikeout. And then you just saw one in the middle of the plate to Tuck, and he was right over the top of it.
A bouncing ball foul leaping out of the way is the new Cubs first base coach, Jose Javier, to avoid getting hit. Along the coaching lines at third, it's Quentin Ferry. So the count 2-2 with Tucker at the plate.
He wasn't all that keen on catching that ball, I see.
I feel him. That's what I would do. It's like a heat-seeking missile sometimes, right? Here's the pitch. And excuse me, Tapper up the middle, charging Lindor, barehanding, across the body throw in time. They get Tucker 2 away.
Well, Lindor, he's one of those guys that does some special things on a baseball field. I don't know if he needed to barehand that ball, but he just is. He's a special player. He barehands this ball on the dead run, and the ball's bouncing. He barehands it and then throws a bullet across the diamond to Alonso to get Tucker, and that's you'll see that one on the highlights tonight.
Seiya Suzuki stands in and looks at a ball inside. 1-0. Defensively for the Mets, you mentioned it. Pete Alonso at first. Luis Angel Acuna is at second. Francisco Lindor at short. Brett Beatty at third. As Holmes works his motion, the pitch, awkward check swing by Suzuki. And a pitch up high on appeal, no swing, says the first base umpire, the crew chief, Lance Barksdale. So 2-0 now with Seiya at the plate. In the outfield from left to right, Brandon Nimmo, Tyrone Taylor, and Juan Soto. Behind the plate, Francisco Alvarez. Suzuki bounces one to short, fielded on a high hop by Lindor. Running throw to first is in time, and the Cubs go down in order here in the top half of the first inning. Middle one, no score. Cubs and Mets in the opener of a 3-game set. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago, this is Kyle Tucker. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
This spring at Ross, savings are in the air. Yes! And on the latest fashion. Yes! Even on outdoor decor. And pet clothes and toys, too. Save 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices at Ross.
Bosch's innovative power tools make you feel like a Bosch. Like when you pile drive screws and bolts with the 2-in-1 impact driver, you'll feel like
Macho Man Randy Savage. Oh, yeah.
Or when you powerfully blast through concrete with the Bulldog rotary hammer, you'll feel
Like I have the power.
And when you make buttery smooth cuts with the Glide Miter saw, you'll feel
Scoobity-bee-bop smooth, baby.
What he said. With expertly engineered power tools, the more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
At Rent-A-Center, there are so many ways to own the best brands your own way. Our flexible ownership options put you in control, offering a tailored path to owning the products you love, because everyone has their own way to own. So how will you own yours? Tap the banner or visit rentacenter.com to get started. Rental purchase agreement. You will not own the items until the total amount needed to acquire ownership is paid in full or you exercise your early purchase option. Ownership is optional. You may cancel at any time.
Own your own way now.
The march to spring training and opening day is upon us. Rob Bradford from Baseballs and Boring here, and we'll have you covered every single day with podcasts that aim to educate, entertain, and inform you as a baseball fan. Follow Baseballs and Boring in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Bottom of the first inning here in New York. The start of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Mets were scoreless. Francisco Lindor will start things off for the Mets. He's their shortstop. Juan Soto, the right fielder, bats second, and hitting third, the first baseman Pete Alonso with cleanup man Brandon Nimmo playing left field tonight. Jameson Taillon on the mound. The 33-year-old right-hander works his motion, and Lindor fouls it back off the screen. 0-1. Kuhn Taillon comes in with a record of 2-1. 3.86 ERA. This is his 8th start of the season.
Yeah, for J-Mo, it's been all about command, and his last few starts have been outstanding. He's had a great slider, very good fastball with good command of the heater,
Lindor shows bumped and takes a strike on the outside corner.
And that's the pitch that right from the beginning, if J-Mo has that good backdoor slider to the lefties, he makes it really tough on them.
The 0-2 and a high fly ball into deep right field. Tucker goes back at the track near the wall. He leaps. It's gone. Francisco Lindor leads off the last of the first with a solo shot to right. And the Mets strike first, a 1-0 lead over the Cubs.
Well, the pitch before that, an outstanding breaking ball on the outside corner, and then on the 0-2 pitch, looks like J-Mo tries to come inside and doesn't get it in there enough. And Lindor drops the head of the bat on it. Tucker goes all the way back to the 370 mark, and it just clears the wall for a solo home run.
So the Mets strike first, a 1-0 lead over the Cubs here in the first. Still no one out, and now the dangerous Juan Soto will stand in. Left-handed batter. He looks at a strike from Tyone. Fastball right down the middle. Soto on the year hitting at .261 with 7 home runs and 17 RBIs as Tyone deals. And Soto, check swing, foul ball off to the left. 0-2. Francisco Alvarez bats 5th for the Mets. He's their catcher. The third baseman, Brett Beatty, in the number 6 hole. The second baseman, Luis Angel Acuna, bats 7th. The DH, Jeff McNeil 8th. Hitting 9th for the Mets, the former Brewer center fielder, Tyrone Taylor. As Soto looks at a ball low and inside. It's 1-2. The next pitch. Just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Last fastball just faded off the outside corner. Talking to Craig Counsell today, and just kind of studying up on the Mets. They do a very good job of not chasing a lot of pitches. As I say that, Soto just chased the breaking ball down for strike 3. Good for J-Mo and the Cubs. I got no problem with them chasing. I'm just saying they don't usually chase much. Excellent pitch by Tyone to get the punch out of Soto.
Yeah, if the scouting report is wrong on something like that, you're not going to.
It is what it is. Yeah. 1
down, Pete Alonso at the plate. Tyone deals, and Alonso looks at a strike.
But Counts made a point of saying this afternoon, they walk and they don't strike out a lot. And, then when you start looking at some of the guys in the lineup, especially here at the top of this lineup, they got some thunder in this lineup.
Boy, no kidding. As Alonso looks at the ball low and outside. So the count now is 1-1. Alonso has played a lot against the Cubs. This is game number 35 for him against the Cubs as he looks at a breaking ball inside. So 2-1. In 34 previous games against the Cubs, Alonso with 15 home runs and 35 RBIs. Righty-righty matchup. Here's the pitch by Tyone. Ground ball up the middle, fielded behind the back by Horner, the second baseman. His flip to first in time. Alonso's retired, 2 away.
Good pitch. Good play by Nico up the middle to get the second out of the inning. First inning's powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco QQQ. And that's the great thing about Tyone. He gives up the 0-2 leadoff home run, to the leadoff guy, Lindor, and then he comes in and makes great pitches, to Soto and Alonso.
Brandon Nimmo at the plate, looks at a ball up high. So 1-0 the count.
Wow, those are some shoes. And how about that look? With the bright pink shoes, batting gloves, and shin guard.
Yeah, it's a Friday night in New York, and Brandon Nimmo is ready.
Wow.
As he looks at a strike, a fastball, 1-1.
I don't know if you and I could pull that off. So, I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, I know I can't pull it off. Here's the pitch. That's up high. He missed with a breaking ball, 2-1. Nimmo on the year hitting at .212, 7 home runs, 23 RBIs. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Tyone, who kicks and fires. Foul back off the screen.
Just to let everybody know, Pat has had this series off for a while, so he is home and probably enjoying some salmon. I think it's warm back home, though. I don't think it's real cold, so the fireplace might not be the option tonight. But, Patrick, enjoy a couple days, and we will see you when we get back home.
The 2-2 is grounded foul off to the right by Nimmo. So they'll do it again.
I offered to take, if he came to go out last night to dinner, a little steakhouse. Went to Spark Steakhouse last night and had a nice steak. They got salmon there.
Oh, yeah.
He's no. He's going to stay home.
He's refueling.
It's perfect. I'm just jealous.
And we'll foul that last pitch back out of play. So 2-2 the count. Tyone sets at the belt. Now rocks back and delivers the 2-2. Fouled away, out of play, off to the left by Nimmo. Good battle going on here between Tyone and Nimmo. Tyone has had success against the Mets recently. 2-0 with a 1.69 ERA coming in 3 starts against the Mets since 2023. 1-0 New York here in the last of the first with 2 away. Francisco Lindor led off this frame with a solo shot. And the pitch. And a line drive base hit down the left field line. Quickly fielding the ball off the sidewall, Happ to hold Nimmo to a single. The Cubs were shifting, so Nicky Lopez, the third baseman, was playing where a shortstop normally would. And the third base vacated. Nimmo went the other way for a single.
Yeah, I'm going to guess. I don't know. Even if Nicky's not shifting, I don't think you make a play on that ball. But against that guy, if you're going to pitch him the way J-Mo is going to pitch him, he's going to throw that backdoor slider. You know that to the left-hander. You got to play where you're going to pitch him. And I'm not so sure shifting and Nemo is the thing to do.
Francisco Alvarez at the plate fouls the first pitch back from Tyone. The next catcher hitting at .314 this season. 1 home run, 7 RBIs. And the pitch. That one is low and outside. 1-1 the count. Defensively for the Cubs, Michael Busch at first, Nico Horner at second. The shortstop, Dansby Swanson, Nicky Lopez at third. Tyone's ready. And the pitch. Hit in the air deep down the right field line, but slicing foul out of play. In the outfield from left to right for the Cubs, Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, Kyle Tucker behind the plate, Carson Kelly with Tyone on the mound. The defensive lineman, sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. The pitch. That's low.
Little breaking ball there from J-Mo. He's got the slow hook. He's got a tight slider that's got a little more velocity, and he'll throw somewhere 93, 94 today. Speed Gun is always powered by Xfinity. Gets seriously powerful Wi-Fi. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming, and it just boomed right there with strike 3.
As Alvarez is retired, Nimmo is stranded at first, but the Mets strike first on the leadoff shot by Lindor. 1-0 New York as we head to the second on the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, stain, tools, flooring, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online from May 8th through May 14th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Air, performing their seminal album, Moon Safari, in its entirety, plus classics from their entire catalog, live across North America in 2025. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
With Bobcat zero-turn mowers, unmatched cut quality, and exceptional comfort, you'll love the ride as much as the result. That's the Bobcat Advantage. Make it your advantage. Learn more at bobcat.com/Bobcat Advantage or your local Bobcat dealer.
I'm Tyke Sinatra here with my co-host,
Investigator Slater.
We host the true crime podcast, Psychopedia.
Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to your podcasts. When Ram won its first Motor Trend Truck of the Year, it was celebrated. But after 7 times, what's left to say? The trophy speaks for itself. And now, so does the deal with Employee Pricing Plus. Stop by your local dealer today and take home a Ram truck. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Nothing stops Ram. Offer valid on select 2024 and 2025 Rams for non-FCA employees and retirees. $200 admin fee applies. Not all buyers will qualify. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details. N6225. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
It rained most of the day here in New York, but dry now, 57 degrees, overcast sky. A light wind blowing from left to right here at Citi Field in New York. Top 2, it's the Mets with a 1-0 lead. The Cubs cleanup man Michael Busch at the plate. Clay Holmes deals, and a breaking ball floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1. Busch hitting at .250 on the season with 6 home runs. The next pitch is fouled away, out of play off to the left. The Game Time Temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, your trusted local experts. Busch had a rough series against San Francisco to start the week, went 0 for 8 against the Giants with 5 strikeouts. The pitch is low. 1-2. Cubs wearing their traditional road gray uniforms. Blue lettering on the front, red numerals on the back as Busch takes a ball low and inside. 2-2 the count.
Pretty good take there by Bushy on that slider down and in. That was a good pitch.
Cubs wearing blue batting helmets with a red C on the front. The next pitch by Holmes, high and outside, full count. Blue sleeves and socks. Busch wearing white shoes tonight.
Now you got to be ready on 3-2 for that sinker. And make sure you don't just drive it right into the ground. You got to know that it's coming and be ready for it.
The pitch, a bouncing ball hit to second, fielded on a belt-high hop by Acuna. His throw to first is in time. Busch is retired. 1 away. It's what you talked about.
And there it is, yeah. And it's easy to say. It's not easy to do, though. That pitch starts out up in the zone, so you start your swing because, it starts out belt high, and you're thinking, all right, I'm on this. By the time it gets to the hitting zone, you've already committed your swing to a certain spot, and the ball's below that, and you just pound it right into the ground.
Carson Kelly in the box. He looks at a strike. Breaking ball that spins into the zone. 0-1. Kelly has been magnificent to start his Cubs career. A .348 average, 8 home runs, 23 RBIs. The next pitch also in there for a strike.
That's for a guy playing every other day, too. Unbelievable. He is just, I don't even know how to describe it. He has been just on fire since he put that uniform on. It's been great to watch.
Grew up a Cubs fan, and he's taken advantage of his opportunity with the Cubs. The next pitch is popped up. Right side, foul territory, near the dugout. Alonso along the railing, leans over. It's off his glove and falls into the Mets dugout for a strike.
It's one of those plays if Alonso were to get to the sidewall earlier and the wind is playing tricks with the ball. It's very windy up above Citi Field tonight, so that could have had something to do with it. And he had a long way to run. But if he gets to the wall, he catches that ball. But he got there late and then just reaches out and hits the side of his glove and ends up not being able to make the play. Tough play for Alonso.
So Kelly has new life. 0-2 the count with a 1 down here at the top of the second. The Mets a 1-0 lead. Kelly waits. Here's the pitch. And a pop fly, shallow right in foul territory. Alonso giving chase again, and this one bounces off the netting. He tried to make a half-hearted leap into the stands along the netting, but couldn't quite make that play. So Kelly gets extended life again.
Yeah. Alonso's like, can you try someone else with these? He's 0 for 2. Not that he really had plays on either one, but yeah, he's got his sprints in already. Here we're in the second inning.
Cardio is never a bad thing.
No, he's good.
Here's the 0-2. Kelly swings and misses. Strike 3. 2 away.
A couple sinkers. Then he goes to that slider. Pretty good pitch. This ball He has really good downward tilt, and you're going to hear me say that a lot as long as Holmes is in this game. Downward tilt. He gets the ball going down with the sinker, and he does a very good job of getting on top with his fingers of the baseball with the slider to get the slider going downhill.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. Looks at a strike from Holmes. 0-1. PCA, a budding superstar in this game, drafted by the Mets, traded to the Cubs in the deal that sent Javier Baez to New York. You know his heart's thumping. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 1-1 the count.
Now, when you're a player, you always want to, you get drafted, your whole heart is set on that club, and and then you're the first round pick, then all of a sudden you get traded. You're like, what happened? Yeah, he's ready to do some damage against the Mets.
Holmes bounces one in front of home plate. 2-1 the count on PCA. I remember talking to him about this last year in his first trip here with the Cubs, and he said, I'm in the right pinstripes now.
Good answer.
Here's the 2-1. That's up high. 3 balls and a strike to count on PCA. The Mets not wearing pinstripes tonight. They've got their alternate black jerseys with blue lettering outlined in orange on the front and blue numerals outlined in orange on the back as PCA looks at ball 4 outside, a 2-out walk as Crow Armstrong becomes the Cubs' first base runner tonight. And anytime he's on base, he's always a threat to go.
The last thing Holmes would have wanted to do is walk Pete Crow Armstrong, so we will see about Pete and whether he's going to take off for second base. I would assume it will be in the first couple pitches here.
Nico Horner at the plate, throw to first, diving back in safely, PCA. Crow Armstrong with 12 stolen bases this season. Walks of Cubs batters are sponsored by It's Not a Game, Illinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. Horner waits.
Big lead.
Yeah. He's not going. The pitch to Horner is outside. Ball 1. And finishing the Mets uniform descriptions, white pants with a black stripe along the side. And interlocking NY on the front of the black cap. Here's the pitch. Called strike to Horner. 1-1 the count.
Nico taking all the way there, trying to give Pete a chance to steal second base. Big hole on the right side of the diamond against the sinker baller, a right-handed sinker baller. Shooting the ball the other way is not a bad idea.
Low and outside to Horner. So 2-1 the count on Nico. PCA extends his lead off the first base bag, being held on by Alonso. Holmes along set. Now a throw to first. Crow Armstrong gets back standing up. The uniform descriptions are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs. Crow Armstrong goes the 2-1 called strike, throw to second, tag applied by Acuna, and it is in time as Francisco Alvarez guns down Pete Crow Armstrong for out number 3. Let's see if the Cubs challenge this. They've decided not to. That is indeed out number 3, and that ends the top half of the second inning. Middle 2. Mets 1, Cubs nothing. On the score, Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans, it's Jamison Tyone. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance, like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Elevate your lawn care with Bobcat zero-turn mowers. Built like a tank with heavy-duty steel frames and powerful Kawasaki engines, Bobcat's patented Air FX deck delivers a clean cut every time. And with the adjustable high-back suspension seat, you'll love the ride as much as the result. That's the Bobcat Advantage. Learn more at bobcat.com/Bobcat Advantage or your local Bobcat dealer.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, outdoor and home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through May 14th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The march to spring training and opening day is upon us. Rob Bradford from Baseballs and Boring here, and we'll have you covered every single day with podcasts that aim to educate, entertain, and inform you as a baseball fan. Follow Baseballs and Boring in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Monday, May 12th, First Responders Night, presented by Wendell. Fans who purchase tickets at CUBS.com/specials can receive a select law enforcement, firefighter, or EMS themed special edition Cubs jersey. Be here for it, Z. It's always a nice touch. Good giveaway for the jersey.
Yeah, I like the options. Brett Beatty at the plate looks at a strike from Tyone. The next pitch is a breaking ball that spins into the zone for a strike. So Beatty in the hole 0-2. We're in the last of the second here at Citi Field in New York, the opener of a 3-game set. The Mets 1, Cubs nothing. Francisco Lindor, a leadoff shot in the first, 388 feet to right field. Tyone rocks back, kicks, and fires. Beatty takes the ball up high, 1-2. The second inning is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, delivering crisp, refreshing flavors that hit every time. Now the 1-2. Beatty hits a high fly ball, deep left center field. Carl Armstrong at the track. He looks up, and this one's gone. Brett Beatty with a solo home run the other way to left center field. That's second home run of the night. They're on top of the Cubs, 2-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Beatty, young guy, very strong as he gets this pitch. It's up and out over the plate. And he clubs this one. He hits it well over the first section of seating and into the second section, right over the 370 marker. Long home run, opposite field home run.
A 393-foot drive the other way by Beatty. It's 2-0 Mets. As Luis Angel Acuna swings and misses at the first offering from Tyone. A fastball, 0-1. Acuna waits, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Tyone going with a second straight fastball. Luis Angel Acuna is the brother of Brave superstar Ronald Acuna Jr., who remains out. He's trying to work his way back from an ACL. The pitch, low and outside.
Boy, you look at these two. They look a lot alike. I think this second baseman will be very happy if he has the same career as his brother.
Anyone would be
right.
happy.
He's some kind of player.
Here's the 1-2. Acuna hits a broken back ground ball to short. Charging Swanson, fielding, running throw to first just in time to get a hustling Acuna for out number 1.
Excellent play by Swanson at short. And, you know, the scouting report for the Cubs defenders, they got the heads up that kid can really fly because he was scooting down the line. And that is a bang-bang play. And Swanson, he wasn't really aggressive coming in. They don't get him. Nice play by Dansby.
So 1 down, 2-0 Mets here in the last of the second. The batter is Jeff McNeil. Tyone delivers, and McNeil lines one deep to right. This may go. It's gone. 3-0 New York. As McNeil hits the third home run of the night for the Mets.
Now, the one thing about this ballpark, because of the height of the stands, whether it be behind home plate or in the outfield, and then a great big video wall in straightaway center, the wind does not really affect the baseball in this park. If it goes way up, a pop-up, yes, but you know, it's a pretty good hitter's park in short gaps and lines, and Neal just hit a bullet right out of here to straight right.
369 feet, the home run by McNeil. Now the batter, Tyrone Taylor, and the former Brewer looks at a ball low and outside. 1-0. 3-0 Mets. Just one away here in the bottom of the second inning. The next pitch is pop foul out of play off to the right. The dimensions here at Citi Field, 330 down the right field line, 370 to the power alley in right, and then just to the right of dead center, it's 380 feet, 408 to straightaway center field, 370 to the power alley in left center. Now the pitch. A check swing foul ball on the ground off to the right for Taylor. Count remains 1-2. It's 358 to straight left and 335 down the left field line. Tyone delivers. Taylor bounces one off the glove of Tyone. It ricochets to Bush wide of first behind the back flip to Tyone, and the pitcher covering the back can't make the play, so Taylor is safe at first base.
This will probably be a base hit. This is one of those balls that Tyone's going to be frustrated with himself that he didn't catch this ball when it was hit back at him. It's a high hop, and he reaches for it, and it just hits him in the tip of the glove, and then it deflects. And once that happens, Cubs really don't have much of a play. Wish he gave it a shot, but fortunately, that was an out that Tyone would have liked to have had.
So they've given Taylor, like you said, an infield single on that play. He's at first, just one away here in the bottom of the second inning. The Mets 3, Cubs nothing. New York has hit 3 solo home runs tonight, including 2 in this frame, one by Brady, the other by McNeil. Tommy Hotovy made a brief visit out to the mound to give Tyone an opportunity to get a breather after having to race over to first there.
And in talking to Craig Counsell earlier today, like we talked about with a couple different teams, the one thing you want to do is you want to do very well against the 8 and 9 guys in this Mets lineup, because you don't want to flip this lineup over and have guys on base with the top of this lineup up.
Francisco Lindor at the plate, looks at a strike from Tyone. A breaking ball that floated into the zone. Lindor homered in the first. Taylor with good speed at first base. Throw over by Tyone. Taylor slides back in safely ahead of the tag by Bush.
Lindor off to a great start here to start the season off. Just under 300 with 8 home runs now.
The pitch. Bounced foul off to the right. 0-2. Our engineer tonight, Paul Schrager, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices.
Schrager dressed up tonight specifically for us.
And what does that entail, Coom?
Oh, what a shirt. What a shirt. Folks, you've never seen anything like it.
We'll describe it in a bit. Time called by the batter, Lindor. It's almost as though Francisco wanted to hear the description.
Yeah.
He's a cat dad, Schrager. Not sure about Lindor. So it's a cat-themed shirt. Here's the pitch, foul back by Lindor. It looks like a Hawaiian shirt. It's a button-down, right? But instead of what would traditionally make a Hawaiian shirt, the flowers and the colors, it's just a whole bunch of cats.
Catman. There he is.
Catman dude.
Yeah.
Here's the 0-2. Fouled away off to the left by Lindor.
How many cats you got, Shregs? 2 now? That's it. Didn't you have more, right? Wow, sorry. Okay, got it. All 3. Lost 1 cat. Sorry, but it's a...
And now the runner, Taylor, goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Lindor is retired and give Taylor a stolen base. He was halfway to second base before Tyone even released the ball.
Yeah, Tyone got locked in on home plate, and Taylor was literally halfway to second before he released the ball. And I do believe that kind of disrupted Lindor a little bit, and he swung through a pitch.
Juan Soto now stands in, looks at a strike from Tyone. Slow-moving curveball that floated in.
Third punch out for Tyone today.
Tyone a long set, high leg kick and pitch. Soto fouls it back off the screen, quickly in the hole, 0-2.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers. They're brought to you by Chicago Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers.
Pretty soon you've got to play the Benny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Benny's, it's probably not worth drinking. 0-2 the count and the pitch. In the dirt. Blocked by Kelly, 1-2. 3-0 Mets. Man at second in Taylor, 2 away. Here in the bottom of the second inning. Soto struck out swinging his first at-bat. Left-handed batter. Tyone delivers. Outside.
Well, seeing as this is your hometown and hometown team and all of those things, you want to go first and make your guess here?
Yeah, I'm going to go 35,000 tonight here at Citi Field in New York. There are 3 decks. This monster stadium. The pitch high and outside for a ball. It's a full count.
Yeah, there are a lot of people here tonight, that's for sure. Even though wasn't the best of days. We did think, though, we were going to play. We did not think that this game would be a rain out. You know, it's supposed to stop around between 7 and 8. It's exactly what it did. I'll say 35,500. I'll go over.
All right. Soto drills one deep to left, leaping up and snagging it is Ian Happ, roaming toward left center. What a catch by Ian Happ. And that ends the second inning. Taylor stranded at second base. And the Mets score twice with a pair of solo home runs. It's 3-0 New York after 2 on the score at the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Start your mornings with Cubs Talk. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on the score.
Gonna eat healthier this year? Let me guess. Your schedule's packed and cooking feels like a chore. Here's an idea. It's called Shakeology. Just shake, sip, and go. Nutrition made simple. You can get big discounts when you subscribe at Shakeology.com.
Lowe's knows a thriving yard starts with quality care. Right now, get Miracle-Gro 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil for just $2. Was $4.58. Plus, get a free Select Ego 56-volt trimmer or blower with the purchase of a Select Ego 56-volt mower. The best yard starts with the best deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/14. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
The weather's heating up and it's time to get out and ride. For the hottest deals on 2 wheels, look no further than motorsport.com. Hit the throttle on spring riding with new gear drops from Fox, Thor, Alpine Stars, and more. And don't forget free shipping on all orders over $79 on us. These savings won't last long, so gear up to get out during the motorsport.com Get Out and Ride sale.
Sometimes historic events suck. But what shouldn't suck is learning about history. I do that through storytelling. History That Doesn't Suck is a chart-topping history podcast created by me, Professor Greg Jackson. Listen to History That Doesn't Suck on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Nico Horner's on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is brought to you by Timber Tech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Horner looks at a strike from Clay Holmes to begin the top of the third. The Mets with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. Horner was at the plate when PCA was gunned down trying to steal second in the second as Horner fouls it away out of play off to the right. 0-2.
Our views in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Nico coming off an excellent series against the Giants at Wrigley earlier this week. He went 4 for 13, a 3.08 average. Holmes delivers, ground ball hit to third, past a diving Beatty in the left for a base hit. That's the Cubs' first hit of the ball game. It comes in the third by Nico Horner.
Good swing by Nico, gets his pitch in and just gets the head of the bat out to it. hits a very sharp ground ball. It hits Beatty. Beatty dives for this ball, but as he's diving, his glove is not open. He has the glove closed, and it hit him in the thumb of the glove, the backside of the thumb of the glove. And it'll be a base hit for Nico.
So Horner with good speed at first, being held on by Alonso. The batter, Dansby Swanson. 3-0 Mets here in the third. The pitch to Swanson is in there for a strike. Holmes going with a fastball. Swanson went 5 for 10 against the Giants at Wrigley this week with 2 RBIs. He's been red hot since moving down in the order to the number 8 hole. The pitch. Ground ball hit to short, fielded on a belt high hop by Lindor to second for 1. Acuna to first, in time, double play. 2 away.
It's that two-seamer. Talked about it. It's a good pitch, and he gets that run on that fastball. And you feel like you're on it. It looks like it's in a very good place to hit. And then you make your move at the baseball, and it just starts diving down, and you square it up, but you drive it right into the ground, and it ends up being a 6-4-3 double play.
Nicky Lopez at the plate, looks at the ball up high, 1-0. So what's the key?
You got to, this sounds kind of odd, but you really have to try to hit the bottom half of the baseball. You don't do that too often, but that's something you got to try to do.
A 1-0 delivery is outside. 2-0 now with Lopez at the plate.
So we're 2 outs here in the third, and there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ground balls already in this game.
Holmes delivers. Lopez fouls it away. Back out of play. 2-1. Holmes last started a week ago tonight in St. Louis. A victory over the Cardinals. Went 6 innings in that game. 3 earned runs, 8 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. You mentioned this earlier. He's not allowed a home run this season. The pitch is a called strike.
Boy, if he gets that pitch all night, Cubs hitters can be in trouble. That pitch is up. Additone called it. It's 2-seamer, and that ball's a good baseball or 2 above the zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes with Lopez at the plate. Holmes leans in, gets the side from his catcher, Alvarez. Straightens up, kicks and fires. Up high. Full count. Holmes signed a 3-year, $38 million deal with the Mets in the offseason after 4 years with the Yankees. The pitch, outside ball 4, a 2-out walk for Nicky Lopez and the Cubs here in the top of the third.
Good at bat for Nicky. Did not chase. He got the 2-strike pitch called on him was high, but did not chase that 2-seam running fastball away. So good at bat. Cubs with 2 outs and Lopez at first. See if Ian can do some damage.
Happ digs in, switch hitter batting from the left side against the right-hander Holmes. Along set and the pitch. Fouled back by Ian, 0-1. Walks of Cubs batters are sponsored by It'sNotAGameIllinois.com. Reminder, a walk is free, a DUI is not. Drive sober or get pulled over. That made a nice leaping grab to rob Juan Soto. And end the second inning. The pitch outside.
Yeah, that ball fooled Ian. It's a line drive off the bat of Soto, who's got big-time pop. And Ian went across and then went, uh-oh, better go back. And he did, and kind of snow-coned it, going back towards the wall.
Now the 1-1. Call, strike on the outside corner. Sinking fastball from Holmes.
This is a high-running heater that ends up off the plate away. Additone's been a little generous with Holmes today, giving him a few pitches.
The next pitch is high.
If Ian can get this guy down, this should be a good matchup for Ian with his swing and, covering the ball down. This should be pretty good, but he's got to get the ball down. That high fastball, tough one to catch up with.
Happ waits for the 2-2. A line drive hit to left. Coming in is Nimmo, and he makes the catch. for out number 3. Lopez stranded at first. Middle 3, Mets 3, Cubs nothing. On the score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk, middays 10 to 2 with Brahimi and Harris on the Score, the official radio home of the Cubs.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why My Lowe's Rewards members get a free paint or exterior stain sample to test your look and find the perfect color to confidently refresh your space. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid in-store only, 5/8 through 5/14. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast, What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready, Chicago. Bulls Fest 2025, presented by Foot Locker, is back at the United Center this summer. Mark your calendars for August 23rd and 24th and experience the ultimate basketball festival of the summer, featuring a large-scale 3v3 tournament, youth hoops clinics, exclusive merchandise, and more that the whole family can enjoy. Registration for the Bulls Fest 3v3 tournament is now open, with brackets available for players of all skill levels, ages 8 and up. For more information, visit bullsfest.com.
James Hardy Building Products knows how important your home is. That's why they're rated the #1 brand of siding in North America. James Hardy is proud to sponsor the Cubs. James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs.
Cloudy and 55 degrees here in Queens as we get set for the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Mets with a 3-0 lead over the Cubs. Time and temperature sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. Pete Alonso looks at a slow-moving breaking ball for a strike to begin the last of the 3rd from Jamison Tyone. Alonso grounded out to second in the 1st. Now he pulls one foul on the ground off to the left. 0-2.
And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Alonso hitting at .326. He swings and pops it foul out of play off to the right. He's got 9 home runs and 34 RBIs.
Player of the month for the National League this first month. 34 ribbies, 9 bombs, 326. Ho-hum.
Yeah, ho-hum. The next pitch is low for a ball, 1-2. He has not stopped tearing the cover off the baseball since that dramatic home run in Milwaukee in the playoffs. Now the 1-2. Alonso looks at a ball high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's one of those guys to me that you don't want him to think about just being a home run guy because he can use the whole field and hit for power and average.
Ground ball deep in the hole at short, backhanded by Swanson. His throw across is in time to get Alonso 1 away. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show. Afternoons 2 to 6 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, an Odyssey sports station.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat tonight. Mets 3, Cubs nothing, 1 away. Bottom of the 3rd here in New York as Brandon Nimmo looks at a ball low and inside from Jamison Tyone. 1-0 the count. Now, why is it that you say that about Pete Alonso? And
well, you know, over the last few years, his average was down some. And I look at him as a guy who really does a good job covering the strike zone with his swing. And he's such a strong guy to be able to use right center, not just be a pull guy. Go ahead, you know, especially in this ballpark, you know, the gaps are very reachable on both sides.
Nimmo takes a strike, count 2-1.
I've always been a big fan. He's one of those guys that you really want his approach to stay to the middle and just go ahead and, you know, make good, strong contact. He's going to do a lot of good things for you.
Nimmo looks at the ball up high. It's now 3-1. That's cleanup man singled his first time up. Just did a line drive down the left field line. Tyone rocks back. High leg kick and pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. A 1-out walk for Nimmo and the Mets. Near the bottom of the 3rd.
Now, J-Mo a little frustrated with himself that he pulled that last pitch down and in. Wasn't really close. Now you got to deal with a little team speed here with Nimmo.
Yeah, Nimmo has excellent speed, but he doesn't steal bases for whatever reason as Francisco Alvarez digs in. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. And a slow-moving breaking ball.
And I think some of it's had to do with over the years of where he's hit and who he's hit in front of. You know, the last thing you want to do in certain lineups is make outs in front of the guys that are getting paid all the money to drive you in.
Which makes sense. Alvarez, a right-handed batter, waits with Nimmo at first, and the pitch. Line drive smoke down the right field line, slicing foul out of play. It did not have home run distance. So the count now 0-2. Alvarez, 23 years old. Missed the start of this season with a broken hamate bone. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, blocked by Kelly. And the ball squirts off to the right, but not far enough for Nimmo to advance. 1-2. Alvarez started catching at the age of 12. He was inspired by fellow Venezuelan and former Cub, Henry Blanco.
Oh, there you go. Hank?
Yeah.
Very good.
The pitch. One hopper up the middle, off the glove of Horner, who tried to make a backhanded stop. Everybody safe. Nimmo advances to second. Alvarez now at first. And just one away here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Nico lays out for this ball, and as he gets to it, it's right at the dirt level when he dives. It's a very tough catch, and he kind of smothers it and doesn't catch it cleanly, and it'll be a base hit.
So here is Brett Beatty with an opposite field home run his last time up. 3-0 Mets. The pitch is low and inside. 1-0. Tyone missing with a curve.
Beatty, a big kid, 6'3". They say he's 210. He's probably bigger than that now. 220.
Beatty looks at a strike from Tyone, a changeup. 1-1. Beatty grew up in Austin, in Texas. First round pick of the Mets in 2019. Former high school football player. Now the 1-1 is in there for a strike. A fastball from Tyone. We're seeing the whole menu from J-Mo tonight. Beatty got a new car this offseason, courtesy of Juan Soto.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Tyone
is that ready. A number thing, I would assume? Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Beatty pulls one on the ground, foul off to the right. Count remains 1-2. In order for Soto to get the number 22 he now wears with the Mets,
he
gave Brett Beatty a brand new Chevy Tahoe, fully loaded.
Yeah.
2025.
I didn't think it was a Volkswagen Bug, one of them little putt-putts. No, I didn't think it'd be that.
A ground ball hit in the shortstop area, softly fielded on the outfield grass by Swanson, but can't make a play. Everyone is safe again. Back-to-back infield singles for the Mets. First Alvarez, now Beatty, and the bases are loaded as Nimmo advances to 3rd.
Nice changeup by J-Mo. This is a really good pitch. Beatty just, he's way out front. It just sticks the bat out and hits a little roller. Somewhat at that vacated spot in that hole between short and 3rd. Nobody can really get to it to make a play. You just catch the ball. And now you got some issues.
That pitch is fouled off, I believe, the knob of the bat of Luis Angel Acuna. He was running in, and he tried to spin out of the way, and instead, it didn't hit the knob of the bat. It hit the middle portion of the bat as he tried to spin out of there. 0-1. The next pitch by Tyone. Acuna hits a slow-moving ground ball to short, fielded by Swanson, steps on second and airmails the throw to first. One run is in, and now another as Alvarez scores. And the Mets extend the lead 5-0 over the Cubs here in the third.
Well, it's a routine ground ball up the middle. Dansby catches this ball in great shape, steps on the bag, and then is just going to throw a little sidearm throw to first. And I think he just gets under the ball, and it just sails all the way to the side wall. And unfortunately for the Cubs, that'll score another run. 5-0. Mets lead.
Jeff McNeil at the plate. He looks at a strike from Tyone, a changeup. Acuna at first with excellent speed. He's got 9 stolen bases. 2 away here in the bottom of the third inning. Mets up 5-0. Throw to first. Acuna dives back in safely. McNeil homered his last time up. Pulled the line drive to right. Tyone sets chest high. Now the 0-1. Called strike. Low part of the zone on the inside edge. McNeil did not like the call. 0-2. Here comes the 0-2 delivery. Called strike 3. A slow-moving breaking ball that floated into the zone. McNeil is retired. Acuna stranded at first, but the Mets score 2 more times. 5-0 New York after 3. The third inning and this slowdown in action brought to you by Iservay. This is the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Chicago. This is Michael Bush. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
After graduating from high school, Anthony needed a plan. He loves playing video games, but that doesn't cover rent. So he took a job at Amazon packing boxes. He heard about their free skills training programs to boost his pay. Now Anthony is a software developer for Amazon. With a bigger paycheck, he upgraded his computer system at home. With his new skills, he's developing a video game in his free time. Grow your career and your pay. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
From boreal forests to blooming prairie and over 10,000 lakes,
we go for the road less traveled.
Minnesota has stunning state and national parks.
Inhale fresh pine air. Yeah, I love that.
Plan your trip at exploreminnesota.com.
Mom, what happens at the end of Goldilocks?
Well, the bears were too nice to kick Goldilocks out, but they wanted her to find her own place. So they told her about Redfin.
But I thought
Redfin updates its listings every 2 minutes and gives personalized recommendations. So Goldilocks found something that was just right for her.
And lived happily ever after?
Yep, in a cute house by the beach with no bears.
Download the Redfin app to get started. Equal Housing Opportunity, CADRE, number 01521930.
Don't miss the biggest Maytag sale of the year at Lowe's. You'll find the Maytag appliances you need when you need them at a great price. Plus, when you buy 2 select laundry appliances, you'll get up to a $100 bonus via instant rebate. Shop Maytag at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 5/31. See store for pricing and offer details. Advertise savings on all major Maytag appliances through Maytag.com and participating retailers. Prices may vary. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman with you, top of the fourth in New York. The Mets with a 5-0 lead over the Cubs, the opener of a 3-game set. Kyle Tucker will stand in to lead things off here against veteran right-hander Clay Holmes, who works on the first base side of the rubber. Holmes kicks and delivers, and Tucker looks at a strike. Fastball clocked at 92 miles per hour. 0-1. Tucker grounded out to short in the first. The next pitch by Holmes is low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fourth inning sponsored by Wintrust, home of the exclusive Cubs debit card. Remember, FDIC, EHL lender.
Tucker to be followed by Seiya Suzuki and Michael Bush as Holmes deals. Tucker swings, and it's a high fly ball, deep right center field. Going back, Soto at the wall. He leaps. It's gone. Cubs get on the board. Kyle Tucker goes deep. His 10th home run of the year. And it's now 5-1 Mets here in the fourth.
Now, Tuck got underneath that two-seamer, and he hits this ball a mile in the air right over the 380 marker in right center. I believe it landed in the Cubs bullpen, but an excellent swing on this two-seam fastball, and he gets under it and drives this ball a long way.
384 feet out of here for Kyle Tucker. Now Seiya Suzuki stands in and looks at a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Another hefty home run. Official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty strength that's anything but ordinary. Now the 0-1. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
RBIs by Cubs batters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old.
Say a powerful right-handed hitter, and he looks at strike 2. Slider that spins into the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Suzuki on the year with 9 home runs. He swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. It bounces in front of Alvarez, who quickly corrals it and fires a strike to first. Suzuki is retired. Strikeout 2-3.
Well, two-seam fastballs running in, had Suzuki kind of a little jumpy at home plate, and then he swings at that breaking ball down and away. Didn't look like in that at bat. Say I picked up the ball out of Holmes' hand very well.
So that'll bring up Michael Bush, the Cubs cleanup man, who grounded out his first time up. 5-1 Mets as Bush swings and fouls it back out of play. 0-1. The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Citgo. Club Citgo can save you money every day. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Here comes the 0-1. Line drive past the diving Alonso into right field. A sliding stop made in the corner by Soto. Bush trying to go to second. The throw not in time as Bush slides in safely with a 1-out double here in the fourth.
Good hustle by Michael as he hammers this ball past Alonso, and it's hit hard enough to where Soto has to go. It doesn't go into the corner, but he has to go deep down the right field line to get to this ball. And Bushy running hard gets to the easy double. He slid in, but made it pretty easy. So very nice at bat for Bush. See if the Cubs can keep this thing going with Kelly at the plate.
Kelly struck out swinging in his first at bat. Hitting at 343 on the year with 8 home runs and 23 RBIs. Righty matchup with Holmes on the mound. Along set and pitch. Outside, ball 1. So on the out-of-town scoreboard, the Tigers leading the Rangers 2-1. Bottom of the 7th inning. The Pirates a 3-0 lead over the Braves after 6. Former Cub Alexander Canario with a solo home run. His second. Now the 1-0 delivery. Kelly swings and misses at a sinking fastball, 1-1. What the Pirates making the move?
Yeah.
Firing manager Derek Shelton.
That's a real shocker to me. I've told you for a long time I've watched the Pirates and their way they go about their work and what he's done with kind of the club he's been given. I thought he's done an excellent job working and getting the most out of what he's got. Man, they let him go. That's a mistake. He's a good manager.
That last pitch, low and outside. So 2-1 now on Kelly with Bush at second. And the pitch, low, 3-1.
Sometimes, sometimes you just got to make a change because things aren't going well. And that's understandable sometimes. But when you got a guy that's doing everything you expect a guy to do and then some with the group that you've given him, I don't know how you blame it on a manager.
I think the baseball world collectively was surprised at that move. Kelly waits for the 3-1 delivery. Here it comes from Holmes. Tapped foul at the plate.
And Kelly swung at that ball, and I think it hit him in the fingers.
Yeah, he's in some discomfort now as Craig Counsell comes out of the dugout along with trainer Nick Frangella to take a look at Kelly.
Wow. Yeah, it did. That ball hit him in the top hand, which would be his right hand in the index finger. You talk about getting jammed.
Yeah, it never hit the bat.
No, it hit his fingers. Yeah, and I think they got they called that foul. I don't know how you do that. He swung, right? I mean, he took a swing.
Yeah, so now the umpires are conferring, all four of them to the left of the mound.
I got a feeling that's Kelly's day could be over.
Oh, boy.
He's trying to keep his fingers moving, but Craig Counsell looking into the dugout, and I'm sure they're telling Amaya that you're going to have to take a look. Yeah, Kelly's coming off the field.
Oh,
that's
boy.
Unfortunate.
So one of the Cubs' top offensive players in the early going of this season, Carson Kelly, is going to leave the game. Or is he going to try and swing a bat before?
Yeah.
No, they went towards the dugout to get him a new bat to make him swing a few practice swings.
So now the manager. This is what I don't get. How do they? Did they call it a foul ball? I don't know what they called it. They had to call it a foul ball. The ball was hit, right? And
it was ruled foul by the home plate umpire, Ryan Addison. Right. The good news is Kelly's going to stay in the game. Carlos Mendoza, the Mets manager, was livid. He hopped out of the Mets first base dugout to have a conversation with Addison, the home plate umpire, and the first base umpire, Barksdale, the crew chief. The count is 3-2.
Yeah, so I don't understand how. So they called it a foul ball, but the ball was hit in fair territory. It just doesn't.
It's not reviewable. Don't tell anybody.
That's a Cubs catch a break. We'll take it.
Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Kelly digs in. Full count. Here's the pitch by Holmes. A bouncing ball hits softly to third. Fielded wide of the bag by Beatty. Running throw to first is dug out by Alonso via the backhand. And Kelly is retired. 2 away.
Very nice play by Alonso. This is pretty routine play coming in. Beatty throws him a little sinker. Alonso picks up the third baseman and makes a nice kick in the dirt on that low throw. Alonso, from the time he's come into the game defensively, has really improved. We've kind of watched him grow at that position, especially on those plays in the dirt.
Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate. Looks at a changeup outside. 1-0 the count. 5-1 Mets, 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Bush at second base. PCA waits. Here comes the 1-0 by Holmes. Swing and a miss. Fastball, 1-1. Other action around the majors. Top 6. Cardinals leading the Nationals 6-0. The Brewers and Rays are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Middle 4, no score in Cleveland between the Phillies and Guardians. The 1-1 to PCA. Awkward swing and miss. And a fastball that appeared to be off the outside, 1-2.
Yeah, Pete started to swing and then wanted to hold up and couldn't hold up and just kind of little underwater type swing. He's trying to stop. Can't quite do it.
Now the 1-2. That one goes over the head of Alvarez, ricochets off the backstop and halfway back to the mound where it's fielded by the pitcher Holmes. A wild pitch, and on the play, Bush advances to third.
That's a wow. I haven't seen one of those in a while. That one took off and hit the backstop.
Yeah, that was like a slap shot off the boards.
Where's the bull when we need him? They thought he was throwing it at the bull. I think there's a movie about that somewhere along the lines of baseball, right?
So 2-2 the count. The pitch. Crow Armstrong. It's a high fly ball to left center field. It's playable for Taylor, who makes the catch for out number 3. Bush stranded at third. But the Cubs get on the board on a solo shot by Tucker. Middle 4. Mets 5. Cubs 1. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Radio Network.
This spring at Ross, savings are in the air. Yes! And on the latest fashion. Yes! Even on outdoor decor. And pet clothes and toys, too. Save 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices at Ross.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, outdoor and home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through May 14th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Haz solas este verano y sumérgete en Delavan. Desde navegaciones al amanecer hasta cenas al atardecer, la vida junto al lago en Delavan es inigualable. Lanza tu caña de pescar, navega por las olas o relájate y disfruta de la brisa del lago. Cuando estés listo para recargar energías, explora la comida local y tiendas únicas a solo pasos de la orilla. ¿Listo para un verano inolvidable? Planea tu viaje en visitdelavanwi.com.
Summer's calling, and Aquapools in Homer Glen has you covered. Dive into crystal clear fun with our expert in-ground pool service. From installations to openings and repairs, we keep your pool pristine. Need the perfect balance? Our top quality chemicals make maintenance a breeze. Locally trusted Aquapools bring the splash to your backyard. Call Aquapools today, 708-301-9400, or visit aquapoolsonline.com. Swim season starts with us.
League Leaders are sponsored by American Sail. Bring the fun home. Aaron Judge leads the majors in batting average, hitting 400. He's one of three guys tied for the home run lead, along with Cal Raleigh of the Mariners and Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies, each with 12 home runs. We begin the bottom of the fourth inning here at Citi Field in New York. Tyrone Taylor looks at a cutter low, 1-0 the count. Mets with a 5-1 lead over the Cubs as Jamison Tyone works his motion, and Taylor takes a strike. 1-1 the count. Slow-moving breaking ball that spun into the zone. The Mets with 3 home runs. Lindor, Beatty, and McNeil all going deep. The next pitch called strike. Tyone going with the cut fastball. 1-2. Cubs only run via Kyle Tucker's solo shot in the top half of this frame. Here's the pitch. That one's low and outside. 2-2.
Down with 3 straight breaking balls down and away. 2 hit the zone, 1 just missed.
Now the 2-2 delivery. Taylor lunges for one. Slow-moving tapper back to the mound. Fielded by Tyone. Throws to first. Dug out by Bush. In time to get a hustling Taylor. 1 away.
Kelly came running out, was getting turned to barehand it, make the throw, and then J-Mo just got in there and barehanded it and just fired a first. This is one of those cue shots that it's right off the end of the bat and the ball's spinning, and I think the ball itself, the leather cover got tore almost off the ball. A big, as a pitcher, you'd probably like to throw that ball, but excellent play by Jamison Tyone to get the out.
So 1 down. Francisco Lindor stands in. Tyone delivers. Lindor swings and misses at a changeup. 0-1. First out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Lindor homered in the first, struck out swinging in the second. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the veteran right-hander Tyone, who rocks back and deals. Foul back off the screen, 0-2.
Lindor led off the ball game for the Mets with a home run, an 0-2 pitch. Tyone tried to go inside on him and hit the inside corner, didn't get it in far enough, and Lindor hit one out of the park to right.
The next pitch is low and outside, 1-2. Breaking ball that missed. Tyone came into tonight's action after back-to-back quality starts. Here's the pitch. And a high fly ball into deep right center field. Crow Armstrong goes back, so does Tucker, and it's Tucker who makes the catch on the track. Slight leap, banging against the wall. Nice play 2 away as Lindor is retired.
Ball well struck into the gap, going almost the same spot where Tucker just hit the home run. And I think Lindor got that one just off the end of the bat, enough to keep it in the yard. But a very nice running catch by Tucker as he crashes into the wall. That's a very good play.
So 2 down, and the batter is Juan Soto. Soto looks at a fastball for a strike, 0-1. 5-1 Mets with 2 down here in the 4th. As Soto takes the ball low and outside, 1-1. Soto's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging, lined out to left. The next pitch is inside. Soto spins out of the way, 2-1. Soto was the prize of the offseason in baseball. Signed a 15-year, $765 million deal with the Mets in December. The pitch floats into the zone for a strike. Curveball, 2-2.
Crazy, isn't it?
The largest contract in pro sports history.
Yeah.
Shohei Ohtani has the second biggest, a 10-year, $700 million deal as Soto fouls it away. Out of play off to the left, 2-2. After that, it's a couple of soccer stars. Lionel Messi, 4 years, $674 million. And then Ronaldo, 2.5 years, $536 million. As Soto looks at a ball low and inside, it's a full count. Can't even comprehend those numbers.
No, that's... Well, Soto's had a great career. He's still a very young guy. And he got to the league at a very young age and has been producing year after year.
And he hits a high fly ball, deep right center field. Tucker turns around. Wow, this is long gone. To the Shea Bridge in deep right center field. And the Mets extend the lead now 6-1 over the Cubs here in the 4th.
This pitch inside and up, and he really covers this one. He gets it right on the barrel. And this is one of those no doubt home runs as Tuck takes a couple steps back and then just stops and watches. This one goes way out of the ballpark.
A 434-foot blast for Juan Soto. His 8th home run as a Met. And it's now 6-1 New York. They're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The 4th home run of the night for the Mets. Now Pete Alonso at the plate. Tyone delivers. Alonso looks at a strike. Sinking fastball at the knees. 0-1. The next pitch by Tyone is a breaking ball that spins into the zone for a strike, 0-2. Alonso has 9 home runs on the season. He's 0 for 2 tonight. There's the 0-2. Ground ball pulled past third and into left field. It bounces off the sidewall, ricochets to Ian Happ. Alonso digging for second, slides in safely ahead of the throw. Alonso with his first hit of the night, a double to left.
Little breaking ball down and away, and Alonso covers it. Hooks this ball right down the line. Nothing Nicky Lopez can do to try to field this ball as it goes just over the bag. And Mets kind of catch a break. It hits the tarp going down the line, the very end of it, and kind of deadens the ball, and it just kind of rolls out into the outfield grass. Because of that, Alonso will end up with a double.
Now the cleanup man, Brandon Nimmo, at the plate. He looks at a ball inside, 1-0.
"95 pitches now for Jamison Tyone here in the 4th inning with 2 outs.
The next pitch is a called strike. Changeup at the top of the zone, 1-1. First time in Tyone's career, he's allowed 4 home runs in a game. There is activity in the Cubs bullpen. Right-hander Gavin Hollowell warming up. Pitch outside, 2-1.
We've talked about it going into this game that this team will make you work. They've done that to Tyone. The pitch counts high. They've struck out 3 times, so, not a strikeout an inning. Yeah, and they have run his pitch count up there. He's closing in on 100 pitches here soon.
Change up low, so it's now 3-1 with Nimmo at the plate. Alonso is at second base. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning, a 6-1 lead for the Mets. Here's the 3-1 by Tayo. Nimmo looks at a strike, a fastball.
Right, Nimmo taking all the way.
The next pitch will be number 100 for Tyone. Puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, and deals. Ground ball backhanded by Horner to the right of second. His throw to first in time to get Nimmo. And that ends the 4th inning, but not before the Mets add another run on a long home run by Juan Soto. 6-1 New York as we head to the 5th. On the Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk with Spiegel and Holmes on your ride home. Afternoons 2 to 6 on the Score.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I use this every single day, and I don't even miss coffee anymore. I used to rely on coffee, but it always left me feeling blah. Energize, made with low dose caffeine and coffee bean extract. For more info, go to bodyenergize.com.
Haz olas este verano y sumérgete en Delavan. Desde navegaciones al amanecer hasta cenas al atardecer, la vida junto al lago en Delavan es inigualable. Lanza tu caña de pescar, navega por las olas o relájate y disfruta de la brisa del lago. Cuando estés listo para recargar energías, explora la comida local y tiendas únicas a solo pasos de la orilla. ¿Listo para un verano inolvidable? Planea tu viaje en visitdelavanwi.com.
Summer's calling, and Aquapools in Homer Glen has you covered. Dive into crystal clear fun with our expert in-ground pool service. From installations to openings and repairs, we keep your pool pristine. Need the perfect balance? Our top quality chemicals make maintenance a breeze. Locally trusted Aquapools bring the splash to your backyard. Call Aquapools today, 708-301-9400, or visit aquapoolsonline.com. Swim season starts with us.
Take Cubs baseball with you wherever you go in the Chicagoland area with the Odyssey app. Download the app and search 670 The Score. Cubs playing catch-up in New York. Top of the 5th, it's the Mets with a 6-1 lead over the Cubs. New York with 4 home runs tonight off of Jamison Tyone. Nico Horner at the plate. He singled his first time up. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Clay Holmes. And the first pitch up high for a ball. 1-0. Nico now hitting .287 on the season as Holmes works his motion. Called strike. Fastball on the inner half, 1-1.
Good running fastball. He's had a good one tonight. 77 pitches. This guy's got great movement on a 2-seam heater.
The next pitch is low and outside, so 2-1. Story goes that Holmes could have made more money signing as a closer. That's what he was with the Yankees. Somewhere else as a free agent this offseason. The 2-1. Pop fly hit to left center field. It's got pretty good carry and making a backhanded catch right near the edge of the track is the center fielder Taylor. As Horner is retired, 1 away. Yeah, the story goes that if Holmes wanted to remain a closer, he could have made more money. But he'd been toying around at his bullpen sessions last year with that changeup that you've talked about tonight and felt he could eventually be a starter. The Mets got him in their pitch lab and said, hey, we think you can be this as a starter if you sign here. So he did.
Yeah.
Dansby Swanson at the plate. Looks at a ball low, 1-0.
His velocity's come down a little bit, but that split finger that he throws has worked.
Holmes has allowed just one home run this season. It happened last inning. Solo shot by Kyle Tucker as Swanson takes a ball up high, 2-0.
Second, I'd like to wish big happy birthday, 80, to my father-in-law. Yeah. They're in Minnesota. Dwayne DeBlake, he's turning 80. The whole family is there celebrating. They were boating today, but I'd just like to say happy birthday to Dwayne.
And that's from all of us. Happy birthday, Dwayne. I don't think he looks a day older than 62.
Not on that pontoon he was on earlier, I can promise you that. Yeah, so happy birthday. You guys have a great night. Hopefully we can turn this game around and have a Cubs win, but I know they listen night after night, so happy birthday.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Swanson takes ball 4 inside.
I helped you celebrate last night on the off night in New York, Dwayne. That's the best I can do.
Yeah, well done,
yeah,
to him.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Congrats, yeah.
Nicky Lopez at the dish. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Fastball, top of the zone, 0-1. We should all be as lucky as Dwayne is today, right?
Absolutely.
Swanson at first being held on by Alonso. Lopez waits, and the pitch is up high. A bluff snap throw by the catcher, Alvarez. He almost took out the home plate umpire, Addison. He cocked back the arm.
He might have gave him a right cross to the jaw. Let's see again here in our monitor as he came back, and that might have been a WWF elbow smash across Anatone's jaw.
I'm telling you, if that was me, you'd be working with a new partner. I'd be out cold.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Aidman.
Now the 1-1. Lopez grounds one to second. It's fielded by Acuna. He looked at second briefly, instead throws to first to get Lopez the sure out, 2 away. I don't think Lindor was quite at the second base bag as Swanson was coming across.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is where he fields this ball, Swanson passes him. So Dansby is right in the throwing lane of where he's got to try to throw the ball. So he definitely, in a 6-1 ball game, makes the right choice by just getting the second out at first base and not trying to do something a little too much.
Ian Happ at the plate, looks at a strike, one of those slow-moving breaking balls. 0-1. Swanson at second base with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. Mets with a 6-1 lead. Holmes looks at second and deals. Low. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. 2 first-place teams start of a 3-game set here in New York. The 1-1. A ground ball pulled on the right side, fielded behind the bag by Alonso. Underhand toss to Holmes, covering first in time for out number 3. Swanson stranded at second. Middle 5, Mets 6, Cubs 1. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey, Cubs fans. It's Pete Crow Armstrong. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
I'm Kiana, and I leveled up my business with Shopify. Once I figured out that Shopify was a thing, I never turned back. I can create a site with my eyes closed. Shopify thinks ahead of us, and it thinks about the customer more than anything. Every day I'm thinking about some other new business, but Shopify is doing it to me because it's so easy to use. It's like I can't stop. I'm addicted.
Start your free trial at Shopify.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, outdoor and home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through May 14th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Now, bottom of 5, Gavin Hollowell will come into the ball game now, replacing Jamison Tyone. Cubs down 6-1. The Alvarez, Beatty, and Acuna. Acuna hitting here in the 5th. Hollowell, big, tall, right-handed pitcher, kind of a side-arming three-quarter delivery. Throw way across his body, Z. So Cubs with a new chucker on the bump.
Alvarez swings at the first pitch from Hollowell and fouls it out of play off to the right. It's a return to Queens for Hollowell, who played his college ball just down the road at St. John's.
Right.
Had a really good baseball program over the years. Hollowell grew up across the river in New Jersey, here in what's known as the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. Now the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
Now, from here, how far is Connecticut from here?
Well, it depends where in Connecticut, but not that far.
Like the closest border to the stadium. Like a half hour, right? It's not without traffic.
Yeah, without traffic.
Without
yeah.
traffic, yes.
In the dream world, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Here comes
by
the
helicopter. It's they have. Yeah.
But ideally, it should be about 30 to 40, 45 minutes.
So I know some of my teammates with the Yankees in playing here lived in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And, so it's not far.
The 1-2 up high. For some, if you're driving, I think we could make it in about 25 minutes.
Yeah. It's probably true.
Yeah. 2-2 to count. Late at night.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cars.
Yeah.
A lot of Ron Coomer pictures in the glove compartment. Here comes the 2-2. Foul back out of play just to the left of us. 6-1 Mets. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning. New York hit 4 solo home runs off of Jamison Tyone. The first time he's allowed 4 home runs in his career in a game. Hollowell delivers. And Alvarez swings and misses at a breaking ball off the outside. Strike 3. 1 away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Boy, big sweeping hook from Hollowell. Alvarez chases it. This ball's at least a foot off the plate away. And we're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
Brett Beatty at the plate. He has one of the 4 home runs on the night for the Mets. Looks at a strike going 1. Hollowell sets, kicks, and fires. Beatty fouls it back off the screen, 0-2.
Wednesday, May 14th, Northwestern University night presented by New Era. Fans who purchase tickets, Cubs.com/specials, will receive a Cubs and Northwestern cap. Be here for it. Saw the cap. Cool cap. A couple of my friends that went to Northwestern have already put in requests. Jesse.
The 0-2, a ground ball hit behind first, fielded by Bush. He races to the bag and beats Beatty in the foot race for out number 2. I have one of those friends too.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Great guy, but man, he goes overboard with Northwestern.
Northwestern,
so any Northwestern gear that he can get his hands on, get the text message, "Hey Zach, can you grab the cap for me?"
Well, mine is my buddy who we've been friends since we were kids, but he's also my attorney, so he'll get one for sure. Jeff, it's on its way. Don't worry.
Luis Angel Acuna looks at a strike from Hollowell. A fastball, 0-1. It's a smart move by you.
Yeah. His
and
office,
him, really.
His office a little cluttered with Cubs and Northwestern stuff. That's all right.
Here comes the 0-1. Acuna fouls it back off the screen. Yeah, my buddy Kevin, one of my best friends in the world. Northwestern graduate. You know, they're smarter than us, so you got to do things the right way with them.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree to that. Yeah. I got into Northwestern to the basketball game to watch. That was
Here comes the 0-2, low and outside. 1-2 to count. I thought we were going to have some breaking news here on Cubs radio.
You did. I got in to watch the game when we were kids. Yeah.
Well, you're factually accurate.
Yeah.
But you had me.
If my grade point average was my batting average in high school, I would have got in.
Yes.
But it wasn't quite the case.
Thankfully, you had a backup plan. Yeah. Here comes the 1-2. Acuna, it's a ground ball. Fielded behind the bag on the edge of the outfield, grasped by Horner, but now it's off the glove. And Acuna is safe at first.
I really don't know if Nico catches this ball cleanly, if he's going to throw Acuna out at first base. His momentum is taking him in kind of a weird way backwards, and I just don't know if he was going to get much on his throw, even if he catches this ball cleanly. I think they're going to give it a base hit. They have not put error on the board, and it is a base hit. That is a good call by official scorekeeper.
Acuna goes. The pitch a called strike. The throw to second bounces over the head of Swanson in a shallow center, but quickly backed up by Horner. So Acuna stays at second base in the stolen base. But, watching Acuna and the way you described Nico going after that ball earlier, you were saying the same kind of stuff about Pete Crow-Armstrong against the Giants earlier in the week at Wrigley Field. That speed is constantly on your mind as a defender.
There's some players that can affect the game in a lot of different ways, and Acuna is one of them.
Jeff McNeil at the plate, looks at a ball low, so the count now 1-1. McNeil's 1 for 2 tonight with a solo shot in the second.
Yeah, game 1 of the series against the Giants that the Cubs won. Pete caused 3 errors on the defense in the infield by the Giants.
Pulled on the ground foul by McNeil, 1-2.
All because of his speed.
Crow-Armstrong initially came up in the Mets system before being traded to the Cubs. Luis Angel Acuna came up in the Rangers system. He was acquired by the Mets in a deal that sent Max Scherzer to Texas. 1-2 on McNeil. The pitch fouled away out of play off to the left.
And Scherzer, is he still on the disabled list?
He's in Toronto now. He left in the
right, but is he on the? He's still on the. I'm not sure. I remember he banged up early. I just have not heard his name here as of late.
The latest on Scherzer, as this one's fouled back by McNeil. 1-2. He's getting closer to returning to the mound.
I remember watching him and Verlander when they were young pitchers with Detroit, and those two guys were special.
And they're still going strong.
Yeah, they're still going strong. If they can stay healthy, they're, you saw Verlander, and he threw the ball well.
Hollowell deals. And pitches low. So 2-2 now on McNeil with the speedy Acuna at second base. 2 away here at the bottom of the 5th inning. The Mets with a 6-1 lead over the Cubs. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs as McNeil looks at a ball outside. Breaking ball that missed, 3-2. Cade Horton, Cubs' top pitching prospect, is here in New York with the Cubs. He's on what they call the taxi squad, so he's not technically active.
Yet.
But you get the feeling we're going to be seeing him at some point this weekend. Now the payoff pitch. McNeil swings and misses. Strike 3. Hollowell zips a fastball by him. And that is out number 3. Acuna stranded at second. After 5, it's a 6-1 lead for the Mets. On the score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Ian Happ here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Make waves this summer and dive into Delavan. From sunrise sails to sunset suppers, Delavan's lake life is second to none. Cast a line, cruise the waves, or just kick back and enjoy the lakeside breeze. When you're ready to refuel, explore local eats and unique shops just steps from the shore. Ready to make this summer unforgettable? Go online at visitdelavanwi.com to start planning your vacation.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, outdoor and home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through May 14th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Here we go again. Same old routine, same old job, same old everything. But what if today you made a different choice? Like getting an accounting fundamental certificate from WGU School of Business. In just 6 months, you'll gain real-world skills, QuickBooks certification, and a brand new career path. Because tomorrow you is waiting. But it all starts with what today you does right now. Enroll today at wgu.edu/accounting cert.
Kyle Tucker is on deck for the Cubs. Who's on deck is brought to you by Timber Tech, decking and railing. Everything wood should be. Visit timbertech.com. Getting set for the top half of the 6th inning here in Queens. The opener of a 3-game set between the Cubs and Mets. New York on top 6-1 here. Tucker responsible for the Cubs' one. A solo shot to right center field his last time up. Clay Holmes deals. The first pitch is a sinking fastball on the outside edge for strike one. A home run by Tucker, a big one for Holmes. It's the first time he's allowed a home run this season. Now the 0-1 delivery. Tucker taps it foul off to the right, 0-2. Do you remember who the second best player on your high school team was back in the day?
The second? Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, I could come up with that, yeah. My senior year, yeah, I could do that. And yourself?
I wasn't good enough to play. The pitch is swung on and missed by Tucker. Strike 3. It was a changeup in the dirt, and it fooled Tucker. Couldn't stop the swing. One away here in the 6th inning with the Mets up 6-1. I bring it up because
I was going to say, I'm guessing you got a story behind this question.
If you ask Kyle Tucker that question, or if you ask Pete Alonso that question, I don't know what they'd say for the answer. Because usually you would say you're the best person on your high school team, right? If you
you're
made
an
it to the majors, right?
all-star in the big leagues. Yeah, usually that's pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
But
Seiya Suzuki looks at a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. How about this? Both Alonso and Tucker grew up in Tampa. Here's the pitch.
Yeah.
Suzuki pops it up right side, foul territory. Alvarez, the catcher, near the sidewall, but this one is out of play just to the left of the Mets' first base dugout. 0-2 now on Suzuki. So in Alonso's last 2 years of high school, playing high school in Tampa, Kyle Tucker was on the team as a freshman and a sophomore. I mean, just think about that team. How did they ever lose?
So Kyle Tucker was the second best player on the team because the senior, Alonso, was the senior, right?
Yeah, but do you think Tucker would accept that he was second best? Suzuki lines one. Oh, a catch made on one knee to his left by Acuna on the dirt to the right of second, 2 away.
He might have then. I don't know about, pretty good.
Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind coaching that group. That would, to make sure all the balls and the bats get to the ballpark and just go ahead and get them, boys.
Yeah. And they're not the most famous baseball players that have gone to Plant High School. Wade Boggs, the Hall of Famer.
There was a guy that could hit a little bit, too.
Michael Bush at the plate, looks at the ball in the dirt.
Something in the water on that Plant High School. It's creating star hitters in the major leagues.
A lot of talent in Tampa. 1-0 the count. Bush waits. Holmes along set. Now the pitch. Line drive foul off the netting to the left. 1-1. Bush doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. 6-1 the score. Mets on top of the Cubs. 2 down here in the 6th. And the pitch. Bush swings and misses. Foul into the glove. 1-2. A reminder that all opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. The pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Holmes gets Bush with a changeup. Cubs go down in order here in the top half of the 6th inning. Middle 6, Mets 6, Cubs 1. On the score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Don't miss the biggest Maytag sale of the year at Lowe's. You'll find the Maytag appliances you need when you need them at a great price. Plus, when you buy 2 select laundry appliances, you'll get up to a $100 bonus via instant rebate. Shop Maytag at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 5/31. See store for pricing and offer details. Advertise savings on all major Maytag appliances through Maytag.com and participating retailers. Prices may vary. Additional terms and conditions apply.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want. Like, all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot. And turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
EasyCater is the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. With easy online ordering, search filters for budget, dietary needs, and more. Save your favorite restaurants and favorite orders for easy reordering. Save time with group ordering. You send a link, your team orders what they want. Plus, EasyCater makes expense reporting a snap with all your receipts in one place. EasyCater, more than just a way to order catering for work, it's your business tool for food. Order now at easycater.com.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast, What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's see what's on tap here in the 6th inning, sponsored by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. And Ryan Presley is what's on tap for the 6th here for the Cubs. He's going to come out here and get some work in a ball game that he's not in the closer role and try to get to a little bit of the mechanical stuff maybe worked out just a little bit.
And he starts off Tyrone Taylor with a fastball for a strike, 0-1 here at the bottom of the 6th inning. It's the Mets with a 6-1 lead over the Cubs. It's their first time getting a look at Presley since that ugly 11th inning the other night against the Giants. And Taylor pops it up on the infield behind the mound. 3 Cubs in the area. And it's Bush, the first baseman, who makes the catch just to the right of the mound. 1 away. The first out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming in that 11th inning against the Giants the other night. Presley gave up 9 runs, 8 of them earned, did not record an out in that frame.
Yeah, it was one of those innings. Nothing worked out for him or the Cubs. Every ball that was hit was finding a hole. The ground balls were in a hole. The fly balls were falling in. The soft hits were falling in. You got to turn the page on some of those and just be like, okay, let's just move forward.
Francisco Lindor at the plate. He looks at a strike, a slow-moving breaking ball that spins into the zone after watching the first pitch off the outside. So 1-1 the count with Lindor at the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Feet spread wide apart. And the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Good heater there. That was good gas at the top of the zone, 94 miles an hour.
When Presley's right, what's right about Presley?
Well, he does a few things. He's got a couple different breaking balls.
Line drive, base hit to right. Quickly fielded by Tucker to hold Lindor to a single.
He's got a couple different breaking balls and still has a good fastball. He's still, 94 with the heater that he can locate. The other day when he got in trouble, the location wasn't good. They just left too many pitches in the middle of the strike zone. And, when you do that, even the ground balls were hit hard enough to find holes. And it's just a frustrating inning. But usually he does a very good job, and he has for quite a few years, of pitching around the edges of the strike zone, but not to the point where he's nibbling. He's, still on the attack.
Juan Soto at the plate, looks at a ball high. Soto mashed a 434-foot bomb to right center his last time up as he looks at a strike. 1-1 the count. 1 on, 1 out for the Mets here at the bottom of the 6th inning. New York with a 6-1 lead. Get you a station identification as time permits here. Soto, a powerful left-handed batter. And the pitch. Breaking ball outside. 2-1. And I think it bears repeating that Presley did have his knee drained earlier this season. So there's the lead up to that where something clearly was wrong. And then there's the recovery phase. The pitch is inside. Snap throw to first by Kelly, and diving back in safely is Lindor at first. Count 3-1 on Soto.
Yeah, so we'll see what, how he continues on. When you're having some knee issues, boy, it makes it very difficult. And I can attest to that, playing with knee issues pretty much my entire professional career. But you haven't really heard anything from him making excuses either. He's out there pitching and playing the game, and he's just that one day needed to make better pitches, and he just was unable to do it.
Fastball up high for ball 4 to Soto, so he heads to first. Lindor to second. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score. The Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs Talk in the morning on the Mully and Haw Show, 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
So now Pete Alonso stands in for the Mets with men at first and second and just one away. Presley looks at second. That's where Lindor is. First pitch to Alonso. Fastball for a strike. Right at the knees, down the middle. 0-1. Alonso is 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled his last time up. As powerful of a right-handed hitter as there is in the game. The pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lindor a big lead off of second. Soto a big lead off of first. As Bush is playing behind him. Now the 1-1 by Presley. Low and outside. Missed with a curveball. 2-1 on Alonso. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. 6-1 Mets. Here's the pitch. Alonso swings and misses. Out in front of the changeup, 2-2. Alonso calls time, steps out of the box.
I'd like to see a little slider, see if he can get him to hook a ground ball to Dansby. It's short. You get a chance for a double play.
Alonso waits. Presley sets. And now the 2-2. Called strike 3. Froze him with a fastball. 2 away.
Good gas right in the outside corner for strike 3. This is an over-the-top heater. And Alonso knew it. He was expecting breaking ball and got the heater. Good pitch.
Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Now 2 on, 2 out. Brandon Nimmo at the plate. He swings and misses at a fastball from Presley. 0-1. Nimmo has reached base twice tonight. Once with a single, another time with a walk. Left-handed batter. Very little bend at the knees. Presley delivers. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nemo now hitting at .216 on the year. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Foul territory off to the left. Lopez, the third baseman, makes the catch. Way out behind the bag for out number 3, and the Mets leave 2. After 6, Mets 6, Cubs 1 on the score. The Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hall of Famer Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer bring you all the action on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free paint or exterior stain sample to test your look and find the perfect color to confidently refresh your space. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid in-store only, 5/8 through 5/14. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
College football summer is no time to slouch because we are taking you to school on the Cover 3 podcast, part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. It's time for our annual summer school series as we take time to break down some of your favorite teams with experts and insiders who know these depth charts from top to bottom. But summer school is just extra credit as we go through positional drafts, player rankings, and more. Follow and listen to the Cover 3 podcast on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dry eyes still feel gritty, rough, or tired? With MyBo, eyes can feel. MyBo, perfluorohexyloctane ophthalmic solution, is used to treat the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. It's the only prescription dry eye drop that forms a protective layer for the #1 cause of dry eye, too much tear evaporation. So eyes can find relief that's... Remove contact lenses before using MyBo. Wait at least 30 minutes before putting them back in. Eye redness and blurred vision may occur. For more info, talk to your eye doctor. Call 1-844-MyBo-YEAH or visit mybo.com.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman with you, getting set for the top half of the 7th inning here at Citi Field in New York. Start of a 3-game series between the Cubs and Mets this weekend. New York on top 6-1. The 7th inning is sponsored by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Carson Kelly will start things off against the new Met right-hander Ryan Stanek, who works on the first base side of the rubber. He peers in, gets the side from his catcher Alvarez, sets at the belt, and deals. Kelly looks at a ball up high. 1-0 the count.
Kelly's still in the ball game after his last at bat. He got hit in the fingers, swung, and that two-seam fastball came in and hit him in the fingers. But he has stayed in the game.
Here comes the 1-0. That's low.
His right hand's going to be some kind of sore tonight.
I don't think he'll be catching tomorrow night in game 2. Stanek deals. And Kelly bounces it foul. That one might have taken a bite out of the catcher, Alvarez. 2-1. Kelly's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging in the second, grounded out in the 4th. Jamison Tyone started for the Cubs. Gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned in 4 innings. And a high fly ball hit to center field. It's playable for Taylor, who drifts back and makes the catch. 4 out number 1 as Kelly is retired.
Oh, we were talking about college's last inning, Northwestern. I'd like to congratulate my nephew, Lonnie, who you are not Noah. Lonnie's there. Noah is graduating from Illinois State right now as we speak. So congratulations to my nephew, Noah Wilkins. He's going to be a teacher. Doing his student teaching is done, and now you're back into the real world, buddy.
Noah, that is awesome. Yep. Congratulations from all of us here at Cubs Radio as Pete Crow Armstrong fouls one away out of play off to the right, 0-1.
Yeah, so that's very cool.
Yeah, so there's another guy that's smarter than the two of us.
Yeah, he wins there, no doubt. Yeah.
The next pitch to PCA is a swing and miss at a splitter, 0-2. Righty-lefty matchup as Stanek sets at the belt, kicks and fires. Foul back off the screen by Crow Armstrong. Count remains 0-2.
Good job by Pete to foul that ball off. That's a pretty good pitch. Gas outside, just off the plate away.
Clay Holmes started for the Mets. Quality start. Went 6 innings, giving up just 1 run on 3 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Now the 0-2. Crow Armstrong looks at a ball up high. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, he was good. He had a great 2-seam fastball. It was everything, and watching film of him this morning, he had it going between that, the split, breaking ball.
PCA swings and misses on a fastball. Clocked at 98 miles per hour. Strike 3, 2 away.
Now that's an over-the-top. That's just, here it comes. Go ahead and hit it. Right over the top fastball, middle of the plate. Pete with a big swing, just a little tardy on the old 98-mile-an-hour gas.
So now Nico Horner at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. Stanek delivers. Slider that spins into the zone. Right at the top for a strike, 0-1. Nico's 1 for 2 tonight. Singled in the third. The pitch. A bouncing ball to third, backing up and fielding Beatty. Strong throw to first in time to get Horner. Cubs go down in order here on the top of the 7th. It's time to stretch in New York with the Mets leading the Cubs 6-1 on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Air performing their seminal album, Moon Safari, in its entirety, plus classics from their entire catalog, live across North America in 2025. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Haz solas este verano y sumérgete en Delavan. Desde navegaciones al amanecer hasta cenas al atardecer, la vida junto al lago en Delavan es inigualable. Lanza tu caña de pescar, navega por las olas o relájate y disfruta de la brisa del lago. Cuando estés listo para recargar energías, explora la comida local y tiendas únicas a solo pasos de la orilla. ¿Listo para un verano inolvidable? Planea tu viaje en visitdelavanwi.com.
Lowe's knows a thriving yard starts with quality care. Right now, get Miracle-Gro 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil for just $2. Was $4.58. Plus, get a free Select Ego 56-volt trimmer or blower with the purchase of a Select Ego 56-volt mower. The best yard starts with the best deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/14. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
All reviews of this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine. Getting set for the last of the 7th in New York. Cubs trying to hold down the Mets, give themselves a chance to potentially win it late. Mets with a 6-1 lead over the Cubs. New York with 4 home runs off of Jamison Tyone earlier in the evening. Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Brett Beatty, and Jeff McNeil all going deep for the Mets. New man on the mound for the Cubs, Tom Cosgrove on the hill. First batter, Francisco Alvarez. The first pitch is low for a ball as Cosgrove misses with a slider. Cosgrove is a left-hander, native of New York. Grew up in Staten Island, one of the 5 boroughs. We're in the borough of Queens tonight. The 1-0 delivery by Cosgrove. Alvarez fouls it back, 1-1. Cosgrove with the Cubs because Caleb Thielbar has been placed on the paternity list.
Yeah, good luck to him.
Cosgrove, the left-hander, sets at the belt and delivers the 1-1. Alvarez grounds one softly to short, charging Swanson, fielding, throwing on the run in time to get Alvarez 1 away. The first out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Now, you said he's from Staten Island. Cosgrove, I've not been to Staten Island.
Ever?
No, I have not. That's just on the other side of Long Island. Is that correct?
No.
No?
It's,
okay.
it's on the other side of Manhattan,
Sure it is. That's what I meant.
There you go. It's where they start the New York City Marathon,
Okay.
the Verrazano Bridge.
That's why I wasn't there.
Yeah. Brady at the plate, pops it up. Foul territory, right side. The catcher, Kelly, makes an underhand catch. Belt high. Halfway between home plate and first base.
Nice play. Willie Mays style at the basket catch. Very nice. Looked like he was in a route, trying to catch a pass. And that ball goes up, and, the wind started blowing it. The wind is blowing extremely hard here in New York tonight. But this Stadium City field is built so tall that on the field you don't really feel the breeze as much. But when that ball goes up high, it really gets affected by the breeze.
Luis Angel Acuna at the plate. Cosgrove on the mound. 2 away. Here's the pitch. A breaking ball that spins into the zone for a strike. 0-1.
This is a welcome. Yeah, this is a welcome home to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Grew up.
Not far, right?
Yeah.
This was your hometown team, right? The Mets when you were a kid growing up.
Just about 15 minutes away from here. That pitch is outside, so 1-1 the count.
So did you hit any of your spots, or what did you do? Again, an off day. Couldn't have worked out any better.
Line drive to right, coming in, Tucker, and he makes the catch, route number 3. I get saved by the commercial break. Yeah, we had a good time during the off day, no question. We head to the 8th inning. Mets leading the Cubs 6-1 on the score of the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cub fans, Nico Horner here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, stain, tools, flooring, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online from May 8th through May 14th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The march to spring training and opening day is upon us. Rob Bradford from Baseballs and Boring here, and we'll have you covered every single day with podcasts that aim to educate, entertain, and inform you as a baseball fan. Follow Baseballs and Boring in the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Cubs fans, check out the Compound Podcast with Chicago Cubs outfielder Ian Happ. Listen as Ian takes you behind the scenes as he and his guests share what it's like to live the baseball life.
But the farthest homer I ever saw on BP, Chris Bryant, he hit a ball at Wrigley. Wind was blown out over the left field scoreboard. That was 600 feet.
Behind the scenes talk with Chicago Cub Ian Happ, only from the Compound Podcast.
Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cubs down 6-1 here in New York. Top of the 8th inning. This 8th inning is sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today, Zach.
Daniel Nunez is the new man on the mound. Coom to begin the top of the 8th for the Mets. Cubs need a big comeback here. They're down by 5, 6-1 Mets. Dansby Swanson leading off the Cubs half of the 8th inning here in New York. First pitch on the way from Nunez is a called strike. Fastball clocked at 96 miles per hour. Coming to you live all season long for the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth. Proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. The next pitch to Swanson is bounced foul off to the left, 0-2.
So right before the last out, we were asking, so what was on the family plan? You got to come home. We got an off day here in New York. I know you're a pizza guy. Did you get to try pizza yet?
No pizza yet, but we did go to a nice steakhouse with the parents. Got to celebrate Mother's Day early.
Oh, very nice.
My mom, which is pretty cool.
Very good. That's a rare thing in our business.
Yeah. So I took advantage
Yeah,
of it. As you
very
get older, those are the things that matter more. The pitch to Swanson is swung on and missed. Slider had him all out of sorts. Strike 3, 1 away. That'll bring up Nicky Lopez.
So how was the salmon at the steakhouse?
Oh, it's par excellence.
I know you didn't have a big chunk of red meat, I'm guessing. No.
Can't stay this slim with the red meat.
Yeah, you can.
Nunez deals, and that pitch sails. Somehow there was a little bit of daylight between the catcher, Alvarez, and Lopez, and Nunez found it and threw a strike to the backstop.
I don't know what happened there. Ryan Adetone asking Alvarez, hey, I'm back here. Can you please catch the ball? That 96 is going to leave a mark if you don't catch it.
Yeah, he wishes that was 96. It was 98.
Yeah.
And those 2 miles make a difference. Here comes the 1-0 up high. 2-0 the count with Lopez at the plate. It's 0 for 1 with a walk tonight. Lopez hits out of crouch from the left side. Nunez, the right-hander, deals. Up high, 3-0. We need the hardest working player of the game. Brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Well, how about Kelly? Carson Kelly got hit in the fingers, and he stayed in the game, and he has caught the whole game tonight so far.
It's a good call. So Carson Kelly is our hardest working player of the game as Lopez draws a walk. That last pitch up high from Nunez. So Lopez reaches base for the second time tonight. 1 down. Top of the 8th will bring up Ian Happ. Mets with a 6-1 lead over the Cubs. That'll be plenty of time for the pizza that I love here in New York this weekend. A good bagel.
So you think you won't you can't stay slim on a steak, but you can on bagel and pizza?
Oh, I mean,
I don't know what's going on here on the mound. They kind of went out there to talk to Nunez, and it was just like I didn't quite understand. A game 6-1. It was like they were setting up dinner plans or something out there. Speaking of,
it's a good time to do that.
I guess it's don't mind us. It's the 8th inning. There's 40,000 people watching, boys. Let's go.
Let's see if the Cubs can do some damage here late. Lopez at first, 1 away. Ian Happ at the plate. Nunez deals. Happ looks at a strike. A fastball about belt high. Happ's 0 for 3. Strikeout, a line out, and a ground out. Here's the pitch. Ian looks at strike 2, a slider that spins into the zone.
So Paul Schrager just gave us the attendance. 41,243 here at Citi Field tonight. Thanks, Paulie.
As Happ takes a ball low and inside, a breaking ball that missed 1 and 2. So as we take a look and see how we did with our guesses in the Vinny's Beverage Depot attendance game, Coom, you're the winner tonight.
Yeah. I won. We weren't real close, but that's okay. Neither one of us.
The next pitch popped up, left side, slicing foul out of play, 1 and 2.
Big night here at Citi Field, 41,000 plus.
Yeah.
Here to watch the Cubs and Mets.
Wonder if it's tickets sold. I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That there are.
Well, it was a terrible day today here in New York. It rained and cool all day. Rained right up until game time, and we really thought we were going to start under a delay or at least be delayed some. In about 6:25 or so, they pulled the tarp, got the field ready. They said we were going to start on time, and great job by the grounds crew here at Citi Field because they got the field ready, and they were exactly right. We did not have a stoppage, and the field's in great shape.
Here comes the pitch. That's in the dirt. And blocked by the catcher, Alvarez, so Lopez stays at first. It's a full count with Happ at the plate. 6-1 Mets, 1 on, 1 out. The Cubs here in the top half of the 8th inning. And a reminder to stay tuned for the toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot coming up in the 9th inning. Happ digs in. Switch hitter batting for the left side. The right-hander Nunez works his motion. And a high fly ball hit deep down the right field line. Hooking foul. It was into the second deck. It had home run distance, but just hooked foul.
Yeah, this ball's crunched by Ian. It's a fastball inside or a little cutter, and he gets it right on the button. But just pulls the trigger a snap of a finger too soon and hooked it foul.
So here we go again. The 3-2 delivery by Nunez. Happ swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left. Cubs are right at the meat of their order. Presented by Chef IQ Sets. Never under or overcook your food again. Purchase now at chefiq.com. Here's the pitch. Up high. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks. First Lopez, now Happ. The Cubs have something going on here in the 8th inning. Men at first and second, just one away, and Kyle Tucker due up.
Well, here's where you need a big swing of the bat or an extra base hit and get the line moving a little bit. Tucker's, as he said, he's responsible for the only run of the game for the Cubs. He went deep earlier in the ball game. I believe in the 4th inning, he hit a ball into the Cubs bullpen. Be a good time for a second one of the day.
That's pitching coach Jeremy Hefner on the mound, and now that meeting is being broken up by the home plate umpire Ryan Addison. It's just to buy some time for the Mets to get some bullpen activity going. Lopez at second base, Happ at first. Just one away here at the top of the 8th. The Cubs are down by 5 in the opener of a 3-game set here in New York against the Mets. Kyle Tucker will stand in. 1 for 3 tonight, but that one, a long one, his 10th home run of the season. Tucker digs in, powerful left-handed batter. The right-hander Nunez works on the third base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. Tucker swings and taps it foul at the plate. 0-1. Tucker always comes to the plate with an aggressive mentality. I was talking to Seiya Suzuki about this. Seiya says it's helped him as a hitter this season. When you're aggressive, it puts a lot of pressure on the pitcher. Now the 0-1. Tucker looks at the ball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, Tuck is definitely up there to hit. There's no doubt about that.
Tucker hitting a .285 on the year with 10 home runs, 32 RBIs. The 1-1 is low in the dirt. Caught on the backhand by the catcher Alvarez. So 2-1 the count. 2 on and just 1 away here in the 8th. Nunez, a hard-throwing right-hander, peers in. Gets the sign from Alvarez. Acknowledges, straightens up, sets at the belt, and works his motion. The 2-1. Tucker pops it up. Foul territory off to the left near the on-deck circle. It's Alvarez, but this one on the other side of the netting out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Tucker.
Tuck continuing to dig into that box. Every swing he takes, then he gets back in that hole, trying to grind out deeper and deeper hole in that batter's box with his back foot.
Lopez at second, Happ at first. Tucker at the plate with a 2-2 count. Nunez is ready. Here's the 2-2. Tucker rips one foul off the netting to the right.
Tuck got a good pitch to hit, and just same thing as Ian. Just a little early and pulls this ball foul.
So they'll do it again. Tucker once again digging in, taps home plate with his 2-tone bat. Gets in his stance, he's ready. The 2-2 delivery. in the dirt. Bounces to the left of Alvarez, but not far enough for the runners to advance. 3-2 now with Tucker at the plate.
That one got a piece of Alvarez. That was a fastball that bounced in front of home plate. I think he got him in the right arm.
Yeah, he's in a little bit of discomfort, so the home plate umpire, Ryan Addington, taking some extra time to wipe off home plate.
Left arm, the wrist. Just missed the protective pad the guys wear right above the heel of the glove on the wrist. It missed that and hit him right in the wrist bone. That one's going to leave a mark for a while.
Remember, he missed the early portion of the season.
Yeah,
with a broken hamate bone.
That'd be the same hand, too, I would assume. Usually for hitters, when you break your hamate, it's usually on your bottom hand of, when you hit. So he's a right-handed hitter. Would have been his left hand. Usually that's the case. Not always, but usually.
So 3-2 the count. Cubs have met at first and second. Tucker at the plate. Cubs are down by 5. Nunez is ready. The pitch. Popped up. Behind home plate, off to the left. Alvarez circling and misses the ball. It hits off the glove and falls harmlessly for a strike. Tucker catches a break.
This ball goes straight up, literally straight up. And Alvarez, as you described, he was circling. There's no doubt. He dropped his mask right at home plate and went all the way around it. And, he talked about this wind really blowing the baseball when the ball goes up high, and that's exactly what it did. And very difficult play, but that'll be an error on the catcher, Alvarez.
So let's see if Tucker can take advantage of new life. 3-2. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. As Nunez gets Tucker with a slider. 2 away.
Yeah, pretty good pitch here. He takes a lot off this pitch and gets the left-handed hitting Tucker well out in front of that last off-speed pitch.
And that'll be all for Nunez as Mets manager Carlos Mendoza walks out to the mound, shakes the hand of the right-handed reliever Nunez, and he wants a new pitcher to face Seiya Suzuki. So we're going to take a timeout. 6-1 Mets with 2 on and 2 out for the Cubs here in the top half of the 8th inning. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. This is The Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Join us for some Cubs talk every morning. Mully and Haw, mornings 5:30 to 10 on The Score.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, stain, tools, flooring, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online from May 8th through May 14th. Not a member? Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Some people follow the rules, I break them. I'm Soraya, and on Rule Breakers, we talk to the rebels who do things their way. Listen to Rule Breakers with Soraya on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What happens when 2 Score shows meet? You get a Score Classic, Score Transition. First at 10 a.m., Mully and Haw meet Rahimi and Harris. Then at 2, Rahimi and Harris meet Spiegel and Holmes.
The meatball Pope thing,
it's unbelievable.
It's one of the great days of memes, of joke memes in our modern media existence, isn't it?
If I could hug Chicago right now, I would. I feel so close to everybody.
I kind of like that even everyone wanted to kind of claim them and that sort of fun. I texted my brother because I found out that the Pope's mom was a librarian at my brother's high school.
Amazing.
Right?
Nobody stopped to ask about his Bears credentials.
I would be shocked if the Pope is a Packers fan, because that would just mean that there is no God.
It's the magic of Score Transition, weekdays at 10 and 2 on Sports Radio 670 The Score. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Time to look at the out-of-town scoreboard, sponsored by Citgo. Club Citgo can save you money every day. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. The Cardinals a 10-0 drubbing of the Nationals. Pirates edged the Braves 3-2. It was the Tigers 2 and the Rangers 1. New man on the mound for the Mets is veteran right-hander Reed Garrett. He's 0-1 with a 0.59 ERA in 16 games this season. He's allowed just one earned run in 15 1/3 this season. Seiya Suzuki at the plate. 2 on, 2 out for the Cubs here in the top of the 8th inning. A 6-1 Mets lead. The first pitch to Seiya is a breaking ball that floats into the zone for a strike. 0-1.
Now Cubs need a big swing of the bat. That's what they need. This would be a good time for it if Seiya can launch one. Get the Cubs right back into this game.
Suzuki's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch. Seiya swings, and it's a high fly ball, deep left center field. Racing over Nimmo, now the center fielder. Taylor on the track makes a backhanded catch for out number 3. And the Cubs leave 2 here in the top of the 8th. We head to the last of the 8th with the Mets up 6-1. On the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Talking Cubs Monday through Friday afternoons with Spiegel and Holmes, 2 to 6 on the score.
Member Week is here at Lowe's. Don't miss your chance to get up to 40% off hundreds of items like paint, outdoor and home essentials, and more. Shop our exclusive deals happening in-store and online now through May 14th. Not a rewards member? Join for free today and get ready to save more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Sometimes historic events suck. But what shouldn't suck is learning about history. I do that through storytelling. History That Doesn't Suck is a chart-topping history podcast created by me, Professor Greg Jackson. Listen to History That Doesn't Suck on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Haz solas este verano y sumérgete en Delavan. Desde navegaciones al amanecer hasta cenas al atardecer, la vida junto al lago en Delavan es inigualable. Lanza tu caña de pescar, navega por las olas o relájate y disfruta de la brisa del lago. Cuando estés listo para recargar energías, explora la comida local y tiendas únicas a solo pasos de la orilla. ¿Listo para un verano inolvidable? Planea tu viaje en visitdelavanwi.com.
Bottom of the 8th inning in New York. The Mets 6, Cubs 1. Tom Cosgrove, the Cub left-hander, working his second inning. Mark Vientos will lead things off. Right-handed batter, pinch hitting for Jeff McNeil. Jamison Tyone started, went 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 9 hits. Cosgrove deals, Vientos swings and misses at a slider, 0-1.
And stream every out-of-market game live or on demand. Plus, stream MLB Network 24/7 for the entire season. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv
Ground ball
for details. Sorry, Z.
Sorry, Coon. Ground ball hit to short, fielded by Swanson. His throw across in time to get Vientos. So 1 away. And the first out is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Cubs have yet to announce their starter for tomorrow night's ball game, the middle game of this 3-game set between the Cubs and Mets. Cade Horton is here in New York, the Cubs' top pitching prospect. Tyrone Taylor at the plate, looks at a strike from Cosgrove, a slider, 0-1.
Yeah, the big question is just whether he's going to start the game or if the Cubs are going to have an opener and then go that route with Horton throwing then probably second.
Grounded foul off to the left by Taylor, 0-2.
Talking with Counts earlier, really, kind of asked, and I'm sure he's got a really good idea what he wants to do, but he didn't want to lead on with that yet. He wasn't quite prepared to let everybody know, so we'll just that be, and we'll see what happens. It might be announced after the ball game tonight. I would assume Horton would know. He will know, but the rest of us may not know until tomorrow.
I'm guessing we'll find out after this ball game.
Yeah, very well could be. Yep.
1-2 now on Taylor.
Exciting time for a young guy, right? It's one of those things. I don't care where you're drafted in the draft or what your lifelong goal up to this point is to play in the big leagues, and tomorrow he is going to get his chance.
Taylor fouls one away, out of play off to the right, 1-2. Horton's 23 years old, native of Oklahoma. Was drafted in the first round, the 7th overall pick by the Cubs in 2022. And he's been lights out at AAA Iowa this season, 2-1 with a 1.24 ERA. As Taylor looks at a ball up high, a slider that missed. So 2-2 the count on Taylor. 6 starts for Horton, 29 innings pitched, 33 strikeouts. Cosgrove deals. Taylor bounces one to third. Fielded on a high hop by Lopez. Couple of steps forward. His throw to first. Dug out beautifully by Bush. 2 away.
Yeah, for Horton tomorrow, he's going to be, kind of a 2-pitch pitcher. Might have 3, but really, really good fastball, in the mid-90s. And got a little cut to it. And then a slider, and a very good slider. So I think everybody's looking forward to seeing him toe the rubber in a Cubs uniform here during the regular season. And a lot of talk and a lot of people watching his progress through the minor leagues, and it's been quick and very good.
Francisco Lindor at the plate. Looks at a strike from Cosgrove. A slider, top of the zone that nips the outside portion of the plate. 0-1 the count. Lindor, a switch hitter, now batting from the right side against the lefty Cosgrove, who works on the first base side of the rubber. And the pitch. Outside, 1-1. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's happened back home ever since Pope Leo took over.
Yes, my phone has been blowing up. Absolutely, yes. Since yesterday afternoon, walking past St. Patrick's Cathedral in Manhattan, I was wondering the bells are going, the big bells, and there had to be 100 television cameras out in front of the cathedral.
Did you get interviewed?
I did not. I made sure I did not. That was an absolute. But yes, go ahead. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, initially there was some confusion. Well, if you're from Chicago, are you a Cubs fan or a Sox fan, right? That was the big story from a sports standpoint.
And our new Pope is from Dalton,
right,
southwest suburbs.
Now, his entire family, from what I understand, is that one's fouled back by Lindor, 2-2.
I'm going with these Cub fans.
Well, his entire family, for the most part, they're all Cub fans.
Yeah.
And we thank you so much for that support.
Yeah.
The Pope is a Sox fan, and that's okay.
You don't know that. Did you ask him?
His brother said it. He knows him better than me.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. Lindor hits one softly to the left side, cut off by Lopez. His throw to first offline, and safe at first is Lindor.
I'm going to guess this is going to be a base hit. This is a little chopper. Lopez comes in, and Lindor flies down the line. Wish he catches this ball and goes to sweep the tag, but Lindor's past them already. So with that being said, I think that they're going to give that a hit. Lindor flying. He can really run. Always has been. That's a very tough play. I don't know if they do everything right, if they can get him.
Still waiting for word.
I'm not throwing error on the board. I'm guessing it's going to be a hit.
And it is a hit for Lindor. He's being held on at first by Bush. Now the dangerous Juan Soto at the plate. 1 for 3 tonight with a home run and a walk. It was a long home run, 434 feet to right center field. Lefty-lefty matchup. Lindor goes. Here's the pitch. And it is inside for a ball. No throw made to second by Kelly. Lindor now at second base.
He had a big jump at first. The game is 6-1. So you're still playing the game. You're not shut down in any facet of the game right now.
There's a 1-0 delivery. A check swing by Soto on appeal. Third base umpire Ryan Wills says, yes, Soto went around and offered. 1-1 the count. I'm sure you can tell in the background. The crowd here in New York disagrees with Wills.
Get another look, and I kind of have to agree with Soto. I don't think he went. I think there was a lot of movement. He was flopping around like, not his best swing, but I don't think the barrel broke the front edge of home plate or got out in front of his hands.
Cosgrove deals. Here comes the 1-1. Called strike.
Really good breaking ball there. A little three-quarter delivery. Cosgrove hit the outside corner at the knees.
Lindor at second, 2 away. That's up 6-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The 1-2 delivery to Soto is outside, 2-2. So Craig Counsell was asked about the new Pope now that he's been part of the Chicago sports scene. And instead of getting into this whole Cubs-Sox battle, all Counts said today was the Pope should be worried about the Bulls and making sure that the Bulls get the number 1 overall pick in the lottery. Here's the pitch, line drive, past the diving Swanson in a left center field for a base hit. Around third and cruising home is Lindor. RBI single for Juan Soto. And it's now 7-1 Mets here in the 8th.
Little line drive to the left of Swanson. He lays out for this ball and just can't quite get to it. And it'll drive in the 7th run of the ball game for the Mets.
So here comes Pete Alonso. 2 away, Soto at first, 7-1 New York. And Alonso looks at a changeup for a strike from Cosgrove, the left-hander. You can understand counts. He's a big basketball guy, too. He knows Cooper Flag is hovering.
Yeah, that would be a good guy to see in a Bulls uniform, that's for sure.
Smart answer by the Cubs manager. He's learning.
Yeah. I'm still going with the Pope as a Cub fan. That's just me.
Here's the 0-1. Bounced foul off to the left. Well, you think now that he's the Pope, he's got to be a fan of everyone.
Yeah,
right?
You didn't get to be Pope by not, kind of being all-inclusive with everybody. So, yeah, he can like both teams.
He's looking for the good in all of us. 0-2 the count. Alonso waits. Cosgrove along set. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Cosgrove gets Alonso with the slider. Soto stranded at first, but his RBI single earlier makes it 7-1 Mets after 8. On the score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Jameson Tyone here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
For businesses looking to expand operations in the U.S., site selection is a crucial early step. Where to start? Logic would lead you to a state with an educated and ready workforce, an infrastructure built to reach domestic and global markets, and the lowest corporate tax rate in the country. Logic leads to North Carolina. So does intuition. For more information on shovel-ready sites in North Carolina, along with all the connections and support you need, visit edpnc.com/logic.
At CubeSmart, we believe in storage that puts you first. That's why our team of storage experts is there for you in person, on the phone, or online to help you find the space you need. Get storage that puts you first with CubeSmart Self-Storage. Rent online and move in today.
History That Doesn't Suck is a legit, seriously researched, hard-hitting history podcast told through entertaining stories. Listen to History That Doesn't Suck on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you missed any of the Mully and Haw Show, no worries. Just go to the Mully and Haw Show podcast feed on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts and get caught up on all the great Chicago sports talk from Mully and Haw on The Score.
When it comes to tuxedos and suits, the pros at Suits 2020 have the winning looks. Why rent when you can own for about the same price? Schedule your free fitting at Suits2020.com.
Designated hitters today, sponsored by BBQ Authority. Visit BBQ Authority in Lisle. And Catch of the Game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. Discover a weekend getaway in Des Moines where only the S's are silent. Find all the fun at CatchDesMoines.com. Nico Horner will have the Catch of the Game. Couple really nice plays over the second base bag today. So that will be our Catch of the Game by Nico.
I like it. Let's see if the Cubs can catch up here in the 9th inning. They're down by 6 runs in the opener of a 3-game set against the Mets here at Citi Field. 7-1 Mets. And we've got a pitch clock violation to begin the 9th inning on the new Mets pitcher, right-hander Jose Butto.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because they got an issue with the
PitchCom device?
Yeah, the PitchCom device, because they brought one out. So why do you give them a... I just don't understand that. If that device is not working right, I just don't see why you would give him an automatic ball.
Well, Buto starts off. Michael Busch with a strike. The next pitch is hit high in the air, deep right center field. Going back, Soto at the track, near the wall. It's gone. Michael Busch goes yard. For Busch, that's his 7th home run of the season. And it's now 7-2 Mets here in the ninth.
Good start here to the ninth inning for the Cubs as Bushy gets a high heater and whistles this ball right into the Cubs bullpen in right field. It's a big swing of the bat for Bushy.
So now Vidal Brujan will step to the plate as a pinch hitter for Carson Kelly. Brujan, a left-handed batter against Buto. By the way, pitch clock violations are sponsored by Verizon.
How about tough play of the game right there? Sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough. Hitting a home run isn't easy, so we'll give it to Michael Busch.
Brujan swings and misses at a fastball from Buto. 0-1. The next pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2. A 411-foot drive by Busch. Another hefty home run. Sponsored by Hefty, official trash bag of the Chicago Cubs. Hefty, strength that's anything but ordinary. And a reminder that RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old as Brujan swings and misses at another fastball, strike 3. 1 away.
Now, pretty good running fastball away for the strikeout. Let's see if Pete Armstrong, he's walked once, caught stealing in the second. See if Pete can punch in with a base knock.
Crow Armstrong waits. Buto deals, and that pitch is fouled out of play off to the left. 0-1. The ninth inning is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. 7-2 Mets here with 1 down in the top of the ninth. Crow Armstrong's 0-for-2 with a walk. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 94-mile-per-hour heater from Buto. And now the 0-2. Crow Armstrong looks at a ball up high.
And this copyrighted broadcast presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Crow Armstrong pulls one through in a right field for a base hit past a diving Acuna, who's ranging to his left. So PCA reaches base here with a 1 away in the ninth. And the Cubs down 7-2.
1 for 3 is a lot better than 0 for 3. He had a walk, as we said, early in the ball game. Pete's still grinding away with a base hit, so nice at bat for Pete.
And here comes Nico Horner. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Buto. And the pitch. Outside for ball 1. Buto works on the third base side of the rubber. PCA's not going. The pitch to Nico is in there for a strike. Sinking fastball, 1-1. A reminder to stay tuned for the Verizon Cubs radio postgame show with Judson Richards coming up immediately following us. I want to thank Judson for filling in for me as I fill in for Pat. Pat's okay. Just taking the weekend off as Horner bangs it foul. That one took a bite out of Alvarez. Man, he's had a rough night behind the plate from that standpoint.
He's gotten thumped a couple times. He will spend some time in the training room with some ice when this day's all done. Ooh, that one off the right shoulder. Ooh.
So once again, Ryan Addington, the home plate umpire, taking his time.
Left wrist, right shoulder. Pick a spot, trainer. Just put some ice on it, will you, please?
Takes a unique mentality to play catcher at any level, especially this one. 1-2 the count. Horner waits. Here's the pitch. That is in the dirt. Backhanded by Alvarez. 2-2. One down here in the ninth. Crow Armstrong at first. The Mets with a 7-2 lead. Here's the pitch. Low and outside, a check swing by Horner. And they say he offered and went around strike three.
Yeah. Nico is asking Adetown why he didn't peel, but Nico kind of left the bat sitting out there in front of home plate for a second, and Adetown did make the right call.
Yeah, Nico went around. So 2 away. Cubs down to their last out. Crow Armstrong at first. Dansby Swanson at the plate. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 94-mile-per-hour sinking fastball from Buto. We need a toast of the game presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Binny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. As Swanson looks at a ball low, a changeup that missed 1-1.
Well, it'd be Michael Busch today. He had 2 hits. He had a double earlier in the ball game in the 4th, and then a home run here in the 9th. So Michael Busch will be our toast of the game ball player by Binny's.
So congratulations, Bushy. Here comes the 1-1 to Swanson. That's low and outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Binny's Beverage Depot. If you can't find it at Binny's, probably don't sell it. Oh, that's not right. It's probably not worth drinking.
The pitch. Check swing. Call strike. 2-2. Sinking fastball at the knees from Buto. And the Cubs are down to their last strike. The remaining crowd here at Citi Field on its feet. Buto puts the ball in the glove. Kicks and fires. And that one is low, bounces away off to the right of the catcher, Alvarez. And streaking to second base on the wild pitch is Pete Crow Armstrong.
Alvarez spiked that last ball into the ground. That's where he got hit with it again. He's like, can we just get this over with, please?
3-2 the count with Swanson at the plate. The pitch. Bounced foul off to the left. Game 2 tomorrow night. Our pregame coverage begins at 6:40. I should say 5:40 in the evening. 6:15 first pitch. We don't know who's going to make that pitch. Here comes the 3-2. Bouncing ball foul off to the left. We don't know who's going to make that first pitch for the Cubs. We do know who will make that first pitch for the Mets. We anticipate that Cade Horton at some point will be pitching tomorrow night. Do you know that Tyler McGill will be the starting pitcher for New York? 3-2 the count with Swanson at the plate. And now the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that ends the ball game. The Mets take game 1 of this 3-game set, 7-2 over the Cubs.
One of those ball games tonight, all Mets right from the very beginning. Lindor starts the game off for them with a home run. 4 bombs for the Mets tonight, and tonight was the Mets night. There's no doubt.
Back with a recap when we come back. This is The Score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Pete Crow Armstrong here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
For businesses looking to expand operations in the U.S., site selection is a crucial early step. Where to start? Logic would lead you to a state with an educated and ready workforce, an infrastructure built to reach domestic and global markets, and the lowest corporate tax rate in the country. Logic leads to North Carolina. So does intuition. For more information on shovel-ready sites in North Carolina, along with all the connections and support you need, visit edpnc.com/logic.
Lowe's knows a thriving yard starts with quality care. Right now, get Miracle-Gro 3/4 cubic foot all-purpose garden soil for just $2. Was $4.58. Plus, get a free Select Ego 56-volt trimmer or blower with the purchase of a Select Ego 56-volt mower. The best yard starts with the best deals. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 5/14. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
I'm Emma Greed, and I've spent the last 20 years building, running, and investing in some incredible businesses. The more success I've had, the more people started coming to me with questions. How do you start a business? How do you raise money? How do I bounce back from failure? On my new podcast, Aspire with Emma Greed, I'll be answering these questions and more through weekly conversations with the smartest minds out there. Listen to and follow Aspire with Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast, available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
If you missed any of the Mully and Haw Show, no worries. Just go to the Mully and Haw Show podcast feed on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts and get caught up on all the great Chicago sports talk from Mully and Haw on The Score.
Mets take game one, beating the Cubs 7-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's sports on the Rahimi and Harris Show. Middays 10 to 2 on WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Back at Citi Field, where the Mets beat the Cubs 7-2. New York with 7 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. The Cubs 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. The winning pitcher tonight is Clay Holmes. He's now 5-1. Jamison Tyone takes the loss, falling to 2-2. A ball game that took 2 hours and 49 minutes, played in front of 41,243 fans here at Citi Field. Quick break. When we come back, we'll get Ron Coomer's thoughts next on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Every strikeout and home run is heard right here on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Mom, what happens at the end of Goldilocks?
Well, the bears were too nice to kick Goldilocks out, but they wanted her to find her own place. So they told her about Redfin.
But I thought
Redfin updates its listings every 2 minutes and gives personalized recommendations. So Goldilocks found something that was just right for her.
And lived happily ever after?
Yep, in a cute house by the beach with no bears.
Download the Redfin app to get started. Equal Housing Opportunity, CADRE, number 0152193.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Hereeth my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
At CubeSmart, we believe in storage that puts you first. That's why our team of storage experts is there for you in person, on the phone, or online to help you find the space you need. Get storage that puts you first with CubeSmart Self-Storage. Rent online and move in today.
Some people follow the rules, I break them. I'm Saraya, and on Rule Breakers, we talk to the rebels who do things their way. Listen to Rule Breakers with Saraya on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Haz solas este verano y sumérgete en Delavan. Desde navegaciones al amanecer hasta cenas al atardecer, la vida junto al lago en Delavan es inigualable. Lanza tu caña de pescar, navega por las olas o relájate y disfruta de la brisa del lago. Cuando estés listo para recargar energías, explora la comida local y tiendas únicas a solo pasos de la orilla. ¿Listo para un verano inolvidable? Planea tu viaje en visitdelavanwi.com.
A brain tumor, a stroke, a condition threatening who you are. At Loyola Medicine, our nationally ranked neurology team maps every move to protect speech, mobility, and identity. Because saving lives also means preserving what makes you, you. At Loyola Medicine, tough is what we do and who we are. Visit loyolamedicine.org/tough.
The Mets win the opener of this 3-game series, beating the Cubs 7-2 as New York hits 4 home runs off of Jamison Tyone to take the ball game. And the Cubs got a good look at why the Mets are in first place in the National League East.
Well, you got 2 really good teams. Tonight was the Mets' night. That's, they swung the bat really well early in the ball game. A couple guys hit some bombs, and, it's game 1 of the series. That's, but this Mets they're a good ball club. Cubs are a very good ball club, 2 first-place teams. And you just, you tip your hat tonight. Their guy threw the heck out of the baseball. Holmes was outstanding with that 2-seam fastball. and the split finger. So tomorrow is a new day for the Cubs.
And it might be the debut of their top pitching prospect, Cade Horton. We expect him to be on the mound in some fashion. We don't know if he's going to end up starting the ball game. Cubs have yet to make that announcement. Veteran right-hander Tyler McGill will be on the hill for the Mets. Our coverage will begin tomorrow night with the pregame show at 5:40 in the evening. Then first pitch coming your way at 6:15 from Citi Field. Want to thank our engineer, Paul Schrager, for helping us blast to the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. And a reminder to stay tuned for the postgame show, which follows immediately with Judson Richards. For Pat Hughes, I'm Zach Zaidman. Want to thank Ron Coomer for his fine contributions tonight. We will catch you tomorrow night from Citi Field in New York. Mets win it tonight, 7-2. This